Tinamina. Eat it up, eat it up. Aria Shalom. Eat it up, eat it up. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. Lips so glossy, feeling real bossy. Standing on business, take 'em out, kamikaze. Face so snatched, it could reach the high heavens. I got no match, slaying 24/7. What you think this is deep in my glow up era? My relation's so on point, gelling like aloe vera. Chilling like a cucumber, don't need no sweater. I am living my best life, it just keeps getting better. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I could be trending, the way I stay addressing all of my haters with no words, got 'em stressing. Keep 'em on their toes, bite their nails, never resting. No rest for the wicked, but I'm blessed with all my blessings. See beyond the literal, top-notch visual. When you see me shine, my light is not dimmable. Daily rise above, transcendent in my spiritual. How you wanna go and hate on something this original? I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. Tinamina. Eat it up, eat it up. Aria Shalom. Eat it up, eat it up. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. Lips so glossy, feeling real bossy. Standing on business, take 'em out, kamikaze. Face so snatched, it could reach the high heavens. I got no match, slaying 24/7. What you think this is deep in my glow up era? My relation's so on point, gelling like aloe vera. Chilling like a cucumber, don't need no sweater. I am living my best life, it just keeps getting better. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I could be trending, the way I stay addressing all of my haters with no words, got 'em stressing. Keep 'em on their toes, bite their nails, never resting. No rest for the wicked, but I'm blessed with all my blessings. See beyond the literal, top-notch visual. When you see me shine, my light is not dimmable. Daily rise above, transcendent in my spiritual. How you wanna go and hate on something this original? I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was trying to do a little multi-streaming thing, but it just wasn't working. So today we are just streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube, but we're going to be expanding. We're going to be doing Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, bitch. I'm going to be everywhere. You are going to be motherfucking sick of me, okay? Because all 2026, I am going to be putting fucking belt to motherfucking ass. And that is 100% sure. 100% sure. Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's been so long since I streamed on YouTube. Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? You love the setup. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the setup. We have worked... God, if you could see my desk, there's like 50 billion wires. My notifications aren't 100% over here, but Ducky Momo, thank you so much for resubbing at 46 months. If you guys don't know, I've been streaming over on Twitch for well over, oh my God, almost 6 years. We started in 2020. So almost 6 years we've been streaming on Twitch. So there are people who have been here for the live streams and have been here for so many fucking years. But I am so glad to see you all this evening. We are going to be getting into some shenanigans. I asked you guys on Discord to suggest some videos. You guys came through. We've got a lot of videos to discuss. We have Gabby Hannah, who apparently is now giving a testimony thanking various different drama channels. We're going to watch that. I haven't seen it, but apparently she's thanking drama channels. I did have a quick scan. I ain't even going to lie. I did have like a quick scan of like the comment section to see what people were saying. And basically, like, from what I'm gathering, the general consensus is like, Gabby, get some help. Please stop. Like, literally stop it. Get some help. But I don't know what it is about Gabby. There's something about her that she's kind of, I don't know, give it a little... I don't know what it is, Gabby. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Don't ask me. Do not ask me. Do not ask me. But there's something about Gabby that's just... I don't know if we're on the cusp of another one, but I'm bracing myself. I feel like we should all be bracing ourselves. I'm bracing myself. I feel like we're on the cusp of another one. Obviously, we wish Gabby nothing but health and wealth and the best. But, ooh, I don't know what's going on. And this video should be very interesting. Other than that, we also have Colleen Ballinger. There's a video that you guys suggested from Vangelina Scoff. We love Vangelina Scoff over here. A little side note, when I took a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube for a while because I was just like, I don't know, going through like a little bit of a mental health period, right? One of my family members is like slowly dying. It's very, very sad, but I had a really hard time just even getting out of bed sometimes. Sorry to be depressive, but it was real fucking depressing at that point. I actually worked for Vangelina and did some editing on a couple of videos. So a couple of the videos it is that you guys may have watched might have been edited by yours truly. So we love Vangelina over here. We love our lesbian queen. She is amazing. She has been doing so well, going from strength to strength. And apparently, Colleen Ballinger has come back with another show, and I imagine it's geared towards adults. So we're going to be taking a look at her video and seeing how that panned out, because I have not kept up with Colleen at all. We also have on our final video that we are going to be watching and taking a look at today. Well, it's 2 videos, but we're going to be going through it. Is Deaf Noodles' brand new rebrand. Now, I have spoken about this on my Discord. I've spoken about it on Discord. I may have spoken about it on Instagram, possibly, I'm not sure. But for the most part, I haven't spoken about what my thoughts are on the Deaf Noodles rebrand publicly. So we will be definitely taking a look into that as well this evening. And if we have a little bit of time after, I might do a poll with you guys and find out what it is that you guys want to watch as a final thing. Just judging by how we're doing for time. I'm going to be here for 3 hours, okay? I'm letting that be known right now. It is 10:30. Well, it's actually 11:15, but still, it's 11:15. So we're going to be here at least until 2 a.m. over here in the United Kingdom, GMT. So I'm going to be here for 3 hours. So you can come in, clock in, have a little moment if you're at work, come out, go do your work, come out for a cigarette break or whatever, or a smoke break, and then watch some more of me. I'm going to be here for the next 3 hours. Also, you guys will be able to rewind if you've not joined on time and want to join a little bit later and you want to start from the beginning. You guys are able to rewind the stream. I'm not one of those kind of content creators who's like, oh, I said something bad. I'm never going to let you see the thing it is that I said ever again. No, this is a live stream. We know it's live. Sometimes the things that come out of my mouth might not be the most politically correct, but but hopefully we have grace for each other. And we're having a lot of fun here this evening. Okay, no TikTok and IG. I explained that earlier, husband. I appreciate you. Please do not distract me. But we can't do Instagram and IG at the moment because I'm struggling to figure it out. So we're just doing 2 for the time being. And then next week we're going to do 3. And then next week we're going to do 4 and see how far we can take this bandwidth. Because I am working from my studio. I don't have my business level internet over here, so we're trying our best with the little bit of internet it is that we have. So we're just gonna start small and build up, but just be expecting that once a week, and I'm not gonna do it any more than this, but once a week is as much as I can humbly commit to, either on a Friday or Saturday, depending on what my schedule is. We will be doing a live stream here with you guys so that we can round up on all the things it is that I didn't necessarily get to, or any updates. So this is going to become a regular thing. So definitely clock in if you are. If you aren't a part of the members family, definitely become a part of the members. This is where your membership will really, really, really make more sense. If you are a part of our Twitch family, definitely make sure you resubscribe and all of that good stuff over on Twitch. I really appreciate everyone. Okay. Now that we're understood, 200 people in here tonight. Now that we're all understood, let's get straight into the first one. So we have Gabby Hanna. Now, you guys know a couple of days ago, I made a video about Gabby Hanna, right? And it was a mixed, I wouldn't say mixed. I feel like everybody was kind of on the same page as me, but there were some people who got upset. And as we say, let them. So we're just letting those people get upset in their feelings. I call some people parasocial and weird, and apparently they took very strong offense to that. And then decided to go on Reddit, because that's not parasocial and weird. Like, oh my God, she called us parasocial on Reddit, girl. On Reddit, you said Reddit. Okay, you're proving to me you're not parasocial and weird. All right. But anyway, beyond that little tiny, stupid, insignificant drama, pretty much everybody was on the same page as me, is that Gabby Hanna is very upset that the world keeps spinning without her, and she is upset that the other people who may have done more deplorable things, if we're thinking in terms of like David Dobrik, Predator Protector with Dirty Dom and all this kind of stuff, have all been able to move past their previous transgressions and create a career for themselves despite the past it is that they have. Whereas Gabby Hanna still feels, and this is just what I think as an onlooker, she still feels like everybody is still hung up on her past. So in her head, she thought the best way to come back on a podcast and share my opinions and thoughts on various different situations is to address my own drama. And I don't think that went well for her. One of my researchers sent me a message. Oh God, let me see if I can find it. It's up on Discord. Just give me a moment. But she posted it on Discord. And Gabby Hanna has been combating people in the comment section of that video. People were like, you should say sorry to Jessie Smiles. And then she said, for what? And people were like, yikes, that's bad. There's been some other stuff. I won't go onto Discord, but there's been some other stuff as well. So she's been combative quite frequently in the comment section, and a lot of people are upset about it. But she's come out with another podcast, and this podcast was quite interesting to me. So let's bring it up for you guys so that you guys can see it. This is it. Let me bring you this screen. This is it. It's the drama channel Save My Life, My Testimony, Part 1. And I'm confused because in the last podcast, and bearing in mind I have not watched this, so I'm going to be watching this live with you guys right now, but I'm confused because if I'm not mistaken, did she not just go through a list of a burn book of various different content creators, Dustin Daly, Adam McIntyre, Ready to Glare, Nick Snyder, oh God, what's her name? I think her name's Hannah. What's her name? Glow. No, not Ready to Glare. Something Glow. Glowing. What's her fucking name? Oh my God, I can't believe Glow. I've forgotten her name. Glow, Smoky Glow, thank you, Smoky Glow, and a bunch of different people. They went through like a list, Gabby Hanna went through like a list of all the drama channels who she believes ruined her life and helped amplify this negative story about her. So I'm very like confused to see that she's now doing drama channel Save My Life, a testimony. Maybe this has something to do with Jesus. I don't know, but we're going to watch it together. Anna Oop was another one. Yes, yes. There was quite a lot of different people. Oh my God, it's so nice to see all of your faces again. It's been a while. Okay, I'm too excited. We're going to calm down. So let's go and watch this video. Apparently, it was filmed on the 21st of February, 2026. I'm just going to pull my screens apart so I can see what's going on. Okay, and let's go. Hopefully you guys can hear.
Email address. Love you. Thanks for tucking me in. Well, it is much later in the day than I was expecting. It's 5:30. I was gonna record this like as soon as I woke up, and then I got amazing, joyful news that has just had me so giddy, and then I got sidetracked. It's not my news. I'm not pregnant, and it has nothing to do with me, actually. It's just something really exciting happened for my friend. As I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to start sharing my testimony, I'm thinking, wow, it's such a big story that every time I sit down to tell it, it's so convoluted.
Ducky Momo says, today, 17 hours ago, 8,000 views.
And there's so many different facets of it. So I'm going to start by sharing my testimony of this past week, because I think it paints a beautiful picture of what Jesus actually has done for me and how he has actually changed my life. Last week I posted a podcast, which I called episode 1, but I'm going to call this episode 1, and I'm going to call that the prelude, because that's not what this podcast is, what it's going to be, or what it's about. But what that was for me was facing a fear. And although it was messy, it was walking in obedience, in that God has been calling me for a long time to share my testimony. And every time I've tried, I would get so hung up on certain aspects of it that I felt like I had to tiptoe around or over explain. And I was afraid of upsetting people who wanted to hurt me, who want to hurt me, who have hurt me. And God does not call us to live in a spirit of fear. And that spirit of...
Oh my God, is this going to be a Jesus piece? I cannot. Like, don't get me wrong, Gabby. I love that for you. I'm glad that you're feeling closer to God, but how do drama channels come into this? It's only 22
fear
minutes
was
on.
Not only holding me back from sharing my testimony, it was holding me back from trying to get involved. A huge part of my story, I would say like the crux and the climax of my testimony, includes slander and public humiliation. And when I bring that up today, the naysayers say you have to leave it in the past. All of these people haven't spoken about you in years. But the thing about slander is it's not a single attack. Slander is designed to ruin your life. It's designed to ripple into every single facet of everything you do. It's meant to ruin your reputation. So it's not something that, well, that happened to you years ago, you got to get over that. No, slander is an ongoing attack. And
this is the thing. This is what I was saying a bit earlier, is that one of my researchers, they sent me a message, and it was basically somebody said, like, are you ever going to let this go? And she goes, no, I'll never let this go, or something along those lines. Don't quote me. But I feel like we're on the cusp of some, I feel... Gabby! Something's going on!
my testimony, like that is what saved my life. That was the pivotal moment of God intervening and answering my prayer on my come up when I said, God, don't let me stray too far. I'm so thankful to the Holy Spirit for putting that prayer on my heart, because that level of wisdom to pray that prayer at that point in my career.
All right, we've got a first-time chat from Unreliable Penguin. They just said, love that name, by the way, I wish you would stop saying testimony. It makes it sound so much more formal than it is. Hopefully you've seen this, because I have no idea what to expect.
With the fear of hell ingrained in me from childhood, praise God, thank you to my parents, my grandparents, because hell is real. Heaven is real. Religion is a mess, but there are realities to the spiritual world, and one of them is our soul continues on. and there's a destination. And this earth is where we get to make the choice. Do we want to spend eternity in God's house, in God's presence? Because he has boundaries. He has rules.
Okay.
And if you're somebody who likes to lie or be mean or treat each other disrespectfully in any way, then he doesn't want you in his house.
What on earth does she think that she was doing? Like, not to go through and like name everything, because I feel like people should be able to move on for their past, but like, what does she think she was doing? Does she think that she gets the grace from God to be inside God's house after everything you've done? I don't know, girl. I don't know. Projection, 100% vivid.
He's giving you the option to be that. So I had to repent this week, and the instant change in my mental health, my purpose, my focus, my sleep, my diet, like everything changed when I repented of these sins.
She repented, guys. She repented. It's over. We don't have to make real tangible change in our actual life. We don't actually have to, create closure for other people on things it is that we may have done to harm them. Some people, like if you've ever done like, like Alcoholics Anonymous, like one of the main things in the steps is that you need to go to the people it is that you've harmed and apologize to them. And I think that that is a huge step forward for anybody who may have done harm through any manner, like whether it's mental health wise and the things it is that you did when you were in an altered state of mind, or whether it's like, through alcohol abuse, drug abuse, all that kind of stuff. Like going to the people it is that you harmed directly and like apologizing for that is like a huge step. I'm yet to see anything of that nature from Gabby Hanna. Now, this is not to say that she hasn't done it in private, but I am yet to see anything like that from Gabby Hanna. But apparently she can repent to God, and as long as God hears it, then it's fine. Fuck the people who went through the shit with her.
What happened in the past couple weeks? I sat down to share my testimony. I was feeling very called and pushed again. I had just come out of this phase that I go in and out of, which is I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a public figure. I don't have to do this anymore. I just want to leave, exit. It's hard. It hurts my feelings. Like I'll be just genuinely so peaceful and enjoying life, not thinking about any of this, moving on. But then I open up YouTube because I just want to enjoy the platform like anybody else. And I'm served a viral video of a creator I've never even seen before with hundreds of thousands of views on a video saying that my Christian girly era is sad and depressing and concerning.
Oh, who is that? Does anyone know who she might be talking? Because I've not watched the Gabby Hanna videos, only purely because I wanted to formulate my own opinion, and I didn't want to be like swayed opinion-wise by anybody else. But is anybody else know who she's talking about? Bala just said, running late, but I've been waiting to hear your take on this one. Okay, we're in it, girl. We're in it. Welcome, welcome. Does anyone know who she's actually talking about, though? Like, what content creator may have said that her Christian era was concerning and weird or whatever? If you do, let me know in the comments.
And it hurts me. This is a today thing. And that's a part of my testimony. Is every single day I have to forgive the people who slandered me to the point of actually gaslighting me into a mental health crisis. And I have to get triggered every time I open up TikTok and I see a post about showing signs of psychosis merely for existing, merely for speaking. It's hard.
Hold on. Vivid just said, I think it's Adam that said that, but she's already mentioned Adam in the past. She mentioned Adam a little bit earlier. So I don't think that it would have been Adam, because she's saying that it's a person that she's never even seen with hundreds of thousands of followers. But she mentioned Adam's name, like in not one of the times, but the second time when she went through a list of content creators who harmed her, she said Adam's name then, which, by the way, since we're on the subject of Adam, there's a lot of people who've been asking about the situation with Rosanna Pansino and Olivia starting a podcast, and people have been wanting to hear my thoughts. If if you are interested in hearing my thoughts on that, definitely let me know at the end of the 3 subjects it is that we're covering today. We'll have like a poll or whatever, but definitely let me know at the end of the 3 subjects, because we can definitely take a look and see what Adam's been going through. I haven't kept 100% up to date with what he's been posting.
And that's part of my testimony, because every time I try to quit, God makes sure it is clear, it is known. I gave you a special gift that not everybody gets. I gave you the gift of influence, whether you want it or not. It was never me.
It's actually sad. We're going to read this in a minute, but it's actually sad that she sees her gift as influence. Because when it comes to music, right, people gave Gabby Hanna a hard time for her music. And it's all because of that Genius interview. And I have to say, as somebody who's done music in the past and all of that kind of stuff, what happened to her for her Genius interview to become such a meme in that way with the maybe I'm a monster, all that kind of stuff, right? It was unfortunate because it seemed as if, and this is not Gabby Hanna's fault at all, that her voice was too powerful for the mics that they had on set. So they had to switch out the mics from the mics that they were actually using. Thank you so much for the follow. That they were actually using, and switch it out for the camera's original mic. So because of that switch that they did, it just made it feel a little bit more jarring to the audience as listeners than what it was on the record and how she actually sings live. Gabby Hanna is not a bad singer or a bad artist. Let me say that again. Gabby Hanna is not a bad singer or a bad artist. I don't like the people who turn around and say she can't sing and music's trash. It might not be your taste. That's fine. But she is not a bad singer and she's not a bad artist. If I was to say what was Gabby's soul calling, I would say her soul calling is to create music that touches people. I would not say that her soul calling is influence. And it's sad that that's what she sees her soul calling as. Like, the person it is that she gave us for so many years as quote unquote the Gabby show, she isn't that person anymore. So that was never her calling. That was what she gave us when she was discovering herself. But now that she's kind of found who she is in the realm of music, it's sad that she doesn't see that as her calling. Okay, so it says, and when you pray, do not keep, oh God, I can't read that. Hold on, I might have to. Babbling like pagans. What? For they think they will be heard because of the many words, and it says NIV. I don't know what that means. When you pray, do not use vain repetitions as the heathen do. What? Then what is your... This feels pretty fucking repetitive to me. For they think that they will be heard for their many words. When you pray, don't... Oh my God, babble on as people, this font is difficult to read, as people of the other religions do. They think their prayers are answered merely by repeating their words again and again. Okay, Bible scripture. I mean, yes, go off, go girl.
Who had it. This it factor, like it's God-given.
Ginger Jess, thank you so much for being subscribed with Prime for 20 months. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
It's not a choice. Like that charisma, that X factor, like that is God-given. And not everybody uses it for God's glory. But I professed Jesus as my Lord and Savior as a child. I was baptized in his name, and he heard my prayer. He followed through on his promise. Like, I am his, I am marked. So I knew that I had to address what happened to me. God was telling me that I had to speak about it because there's no way to describe the depths of hell that God pulled me out of, that Jesus ripped me from, the pit that I was saved.
Oh God, more Is this what her podcast is going to be about? But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now is found. Everybody come to Jesus. Amazing grace, ooh, how sweet the sound. Oh, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh yeah, I was lost, but now I'm found. But now I'm found. But now I see. Wow, that was a powerful moment. I'm glad that we could come together and praise in such a way. Do you know how burned into me some of these fucking songs are? My God.
By God's divine mercy, grace, and intervention.
So
His
fucking stupid.
pure, almighty, present, supernatural intervention. He intervened for me. And I do have the support, by the way, of friends and family. A lot of people support me sharing this story. A lot of people don't. There's people that think I should just let it go and leave it in the past.
You should.
But again, it's not my past. And the people who are actually closest to me and actually see how it impacts me on a day-to-day,
Because you won't let it go.
also feel like I should share aspects of my story because
they're placating you. They're placating you. Sometimes you gotta know the kind of friends. Okay, this is just like a conversation for all of us in chat. You gotta know the kind of friends it is that you gotta talk to. Sometimes there's friends it is that you can reach out to who will tell you everything it is that you want to hear. And maybe they're okay for the time being, but sometimes you need that friend who's gonna be like, girl, no, do not call that man again. If you call him again, I promise you I will never speak to you again. Absolutely not. So what, you're going to go down to his level and fucking grovel, bitch? Absolutely not. No. Do you understand how fucking fire you are and how blessed and lucky is it to even grace your presence? That you would even open your pum to him? No. Like, you need a friend who's going to tell you the real. And I think that Gabby Hanna may have a lot of people who are placating her, who are just saying, well, if that's what you feel that you need to do in order to move on in grace and God, then yeah. Like, I feel like that's what's going on, because any other sane person who had at least a decent amount of knowledge as to what's gone on with Gabby Hanna over the past couple of years would go, girl, no, do not go to the internet. I cannot understand the idea of going to an internet that you have said has no interest in hearing your truth. If that's the case, and I'm not saying that's the case, girl. Quite frankly, I'm on a completely different page. Thank you so much for following. I'm on a completely different page. But if that's the truth, right? And the truth actually is that you believe that the internet at large has no interest in hearing your truth, then why the fuck are you trying to appease them? They're never going to hear you. It is just like whacking your head into a brick wall over and over and over again. They're not going to hear you anyway. So what's the fucking point? Vivid just said, if Gabby let go, she might have been able to move past this and have the kind of career it is that she wants. 100%. 100%. Ducky Momo just said she won't move on though. She's still here harping on it 2 years. She'll still be here harping on it in 2 years' time. And Reliable Penguin just says, I wish that she could just let this all go like everybody else already did. 100% is literally holding her back. It's literally holding her back from even if we take us out of it, but in enjoying God and understanding his teachings on a much deeper level. Like, if she really is down for Christianity like that, I fuck with you, I fuck with it, whatever, right? It's not for me, but I support you in whatever it is you do, right? But she's never really gonna understand God's grace and God's blessing if she can't move past her own past. God is supposed to be about forgiveness. God forgives. God tells you to turn your cheek 77 times 7. God tells you that you should treat your neighbors as if you would like to be treated yourself. God wants you to be able to move on from whatever it is that you have done in the past. Many of the people who wrote scripture for God were sinners, were men of sin, who changed their lives around and gave it to God, to the glory of God. And you're never going to really, truly, deeply understand God on that level in the way that you want to if you don't let it go. So it's not just hindering her in social media. It's not just hindering her socially. It's also hindering her spiritually. Clock that, T. Bitch, I'm a smart bitch. God says pray for your enemies. Clock it.
I'm not the only person to experience psychological abuse. I'm not the only person to be a victim of a narcissist, or in my case, so many narcissists who are profiting a lot. It's part of my testimony. I can't be afraid to talk about it. But this past week, I slipped into a place that I haven't experienced in a while. And it was a place where I was feeling hatred in my heart. I wanted to retaliate. I wanted to seek revenge.
Because she's going through the past again and rehashing it, right? Let me tell you, anybody who knows me on social media knows me and Here for the Tea never got on. We never got on. The woman is dead. I can't sit here. I will never get closure for the way that I felt that I was treated by her. I will never get closure for that. I can't sit here and live in that moment for the rest of my life because it's not going to help me. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help me move on. It's not going to help me progress in my own personal career, in my life, in the way that I feel about myself. If I stay in that era of 2019 when it was like the worst time for me, we have to move. And a lot of the people have moved. Literally, if I bring up Here for the Tea and say that she's dead, there's some people who turn around and go, she died? Because people have moved on for real. Like, people have even forgotten she existed for a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. You're never going to be able to move past if this is just all she lives. I feel like Gabby Hanna is still living in 2022. Like, all of us are in 2026 and like the world is shit, but we got to keep moving. And she is still in 2022.
I wanted to hurt. I wanted to inflict some of the pain that I was feeling back on the people who inflicted it.
Oh,
and that wasn't
okay. Hold on. Mia Valerith. They said it's accepting the apology you will never get. Can we have snaps in chat? Claps in chat, hand gestures. That is it. Accepting an apology that you will never get. Sometimes you have to be like, it's bad what happened, but it's okay. And we move. And that is exactly, you worded that so good. So good. Accepting the apology that you will never get. Some people, we've grown up with parents that didn't love us in the way that we needed or desired to be loved. Sometimes we have to accept the apology it is that we'll never get. Sometimes we have to accept other people for who they are, and even in their flaws. And this is what the Bible teaches, girl. The Bible teaches you these things, to love people even through their flaws. And you're not going to get to understand that on the real deep level of spirituality and fucking scripture if all you do is live in 2022. But yeah, Mia, well done. Clock it.
Even where I started with it. Where I started with it was I have to break the ice in order to tell my story, in order to move on, in order to continue on this path of healing that I'm on. But when you let your guard down, even just a little bit, if you allow distraction and sin to interfere with your time and relationship with God, the outcome is absolutely, there is no mistaking. When I spend time in prayer with God, journaling, talking to him, hearing from him, studying, like genuinely engaging with him, I am at peace. I am joyful. I have self-control. I see the future that is God's, that I can't make out, but I know is perfect and better than anything that I could ever imagine and could only be done by him. I have that trust, that faith, that self-assurance. I have the fruit of the spirits: love, faithfulness, kindness, goodness, joy, self-control, peace.
Is that chat GBT, bitch? Is it? Is that chat?
That's suspicious.
Is that chat?
That's weird.
That sounds like it's chat. Did you ask chat about the Bible, bitch? She loves herself a chat girl. She took that phone out real quick.
Gentleness, patience. When I slip, which I did this past week because I was caught up in the trauma, I was distracted, I was scared, I was anxious, I was like trying to rev myself up, because to me this is like a little kid standing up to their bullies. Like I really have to like work.
High school fucking bullies. You are high school fucking bullies. That was fucking iconic though. I love that one. That will forever live rent free in my mind.
Up the courage and amp myself up. And this is something that I don't want to do. It causes physical ailment. Like haters will say it's fake, but the physical effects of trauma within a couple days from when like I posted the podcast, like a few days later, I took probably 2 to 3 times my migraine medication than I ever need.
So if you are having, oh my God, this is like literally, this should be the testimony. If you are having physiological effects of addressing past contentions with the internet at large, shouldn't that be a sign that that's not healthy or good for you? Like, am I being weird? But should that not be a sign that that is not healthy for you? I remember I was going through a period on social media when like the commentary bros were like attacking me from all sides. It was like really shit. And every time I'd log on to Twitter, I would just get so angry. And it wouldn't come out like, it would come out in like the way that I would speak to other people. Like sometimes like my mum would speak to me and I'd be like, I'd be short with her, or I would, cut her off mid-sentence, or, assume what she thinks of me because I was so used to people assuming loads of different things about me, right? And I realized at a point that that's just not healthy. When I'm carrying the things that take place on the internet into my real life, that's just not healthy. And it was hindering my relationships with real life, actual fucking people. And don't get me wrong, falling into that pitfall is extremely human. And I don't think anybody is prepared to be scrutinized on a large level on the internet. So I completely understand that being the way that she dealt with it at the time. But to go back to that place constantly is insane. It's insane, girl. It's insane. First time chatter, I am Scarlett. Hello. She says it's given chat GBT. I think it is. Somebody says it's repeating a lot, 100%. Nico just says it sounds like it. Welcome, Nico. Why isn't she in therapy? It feels like that's where she needs to be. And this is no shade. I literally am not going out of my way to like just be a bitch for the sake of being a bitch. But I think that these moments right now needs to be therapy sessions. And I think if she had these sessions with an actual therapist, it would be way more productive, because you don't need external opinion or validation from anybody about where it is that you're trying to go. Because we can leave what Gabby Hanna did or said in the past. I feel like everybody's pretty much moved on, hence why it was such a shock to hear her name again. But like, I think personally, now she's got everybody's mouths talking about it. Shit, there's like, 370 of us right now in chat, and we're talking about it. We're talking about it again. We're giving her our opinions. Whereas if she'd had this conversation with the therapist, none of us would be here talking, because Gabby Hanna, for all we assume, is doing okay, I guess.
Like I was dry heaving, like spitting up bile. Like it was really bad. Like this isn't something that I like doing. It's just something that I have no choice but to confront and talk about publicly. And it's embarrassing. Like my story includes public humiliation, which is embarrassing. That's the whole point. So it's things that I just honestly would rather forget in a lot of ways, and also have just like lived in fear for so long of just like, this person's going to see these clips or think this thing. And there's just been so much rejection over the years of like new friends who, they really want to work together and hang out. And then they like see something online, or if somebody DMs them, like people just really have it out for me. Like my friend gets DMs. My friends get DMs all the time just for like following me and like being associated with me to this day. Like it's really hard, but
She has like such a hyper concern about like what the world thinks about her, which unfortunately, as much as it's a human reaction, has absolutely no place on the internet. You can't give a fuck about what people think about you. It's easier said than done. Trust me, it took me years. Thank you so much for the subscription. It takes me, of course, it took absolute fucking years to get to this point. But the reality of the situation is that we have to get to that point of not caring. Because if you do care about what everybody thinks about you, everything it is that other people say or do is going to influence your behavior. So because you were so concerned about what the world thought about you and how it is that you're presenting, you've now come to the internet to try and rectify the past in order to move on in the present. But you're not allowing yourself to move on. I feel like I'm repeating myself like a billion times, but it's just like, where do we get to the drama channels, by the way? Because apparently this is supposed to be drama channels save my life.
what I was able to really recenter today and what God helped me to recenter with and like fought me this whole week as I was like slipping into a place of sin, of wrath, revenge, hatred, bitterness. Like one thought I had this week is that the more tools you surround yourself with, like the more avenues that you create to communicate with God, the more he'll communicate with you. For example, this devotional, it's called Zip It. And this kept getting served to me on TikTok.
She read a book called Zip It and didn't. The book title is literally Zip It. Come on, we have got to find the irony. Like,
are you not ashamed of
you're
yourself?
not ashamed of yourself.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And I'm like, God's speaking to me. Like I have trouble controlling my mouth. I am quick to anger sometimes. I'm working on it, but I'm quick to anger. Like I hate that I can still swear. Like I'm trying really hard to give it up. But if I get mad enough, like that's when I grabbed it. Because at some point during this past week, I started swearing. And
Reliable Penguin just says, she read Zip It and unzipped everything.
I was like, nope, that's why I bought this devotional. Because my husband hates it. And I hate it, especially because my husband hates it. And I don't want to do it. My husband's like, you know what? Let's go to the gym. Let's blow off a little steam. Because I was spiraling. And
I've said this once before, but I really fucking like her husband. I feel like he's extremely grounding. And I love the fact that he is comfortable enough with her to express that these are personality attributes about you that I don't enjoy. Like that, for me, shows a healthy marriage, and I hope that they continue like that with that openness.
I was walking out of the door and God said, go get the book. So anyway, I went into that week with the intention of I have to just be not afraid to speak about this. And
it said zip it.
It wasn't perfect. You know, I would do things differently. A lot of emotions. Obviously, I'm put right back into a place of who and where I was when that trauma was originally being inflicted, which was somebody who was very distant from God, who was reacting in a very different way to the same stimulus. Like it was very triggering, obviously. So I've had to repent a lot this week of hate. I mean, it's literally like the worst sin, because the only command is to love God and love everyone and love yourself, literally is the command. And
I mean, there's 10 of them, but okay.
Started acting in a way that wasn't loving, because for me, it was really easy to get to a place of name calling people who have called me horrible names, trying to hurt people who have hurt me. God really pulled me out of it, because there was a couple days where I was crying. I was really upset. Like drama upsets me. Any night that I go.
One sec, we got Lino Tosti. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna call you Lino. Does she not have a clergy person that she can talk to? Because damn, something feels deeply lonely about this. And this is like no shade, but it's giving to me that beyond her husband, she has nobody to talk to. And sometimes I think, especially as creators, it is good to have other creators in the space to speak to about things. Like the other day, I received a phone call from another content creator who was just venting to me. They didn't really have much to say, but just things were getting on top of them. They were getting pissed off at things that were taking place on the internet, and they just rang and they vented for like half an hour about how things were pissing them off. And sometimes you need to have other creators to be able to get those things off your chest, because nobody else is going to get it. Nobody else is going to understand what it's like to go on the internet and fucking be scrutinized and criticized and have people talk about you or spread lies about you. Girl, like what Gabby Hanna is going through, especially in terms of her saying that she's been slandered and people saying lies about her, is not incredibly unique, right? It's not a unique situation. There are lots of people who have lies said about them. There's lies about me right now on Reddit, bitch. Like, people just talk. And sometimes, again, like I said with the book, you have to let them. Which, by the way, I saw a lot of you guys in the comment section saying that Mel Robbins, the lady who wrote Let Them, wasn't the original author and that she'd stole the idea from somebody else. Thank you for ruining and crushing my dreams, because I literally swear by that fucking book. I recommend it to anybody who is going through anything. And to find this out, I haven't looked into it properly myself at this point, and I will at some point. But just hearing the general consensus that, like, actually she stole it from somebody is pissing me off. And I'll tell you why, because there's a chapter in the book, and I think it's chapter 8, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a chapter in the book, and she speaks about not having original ideas and feeling as if you can't do something because somebody else is already doing it. And she's like, who cares? Like, don't try and reinvent the wheel, just do the same thing. And I felt like that part of the book was extremely out of place. And now hearing what you guys are telling me about this woman stealing this idea from somebody else, it makes sense. It was almost like she was like preempting what the response would be. And it just pissed me off. So thank you. Thank you guys for ruining my fucking dreams.
Go to bed thinking about anyone or anything other than God and my husband is a loss to me. And I lost a few nights going to bed and waking up thinking about other people I don't have fond memories about or of. Like, it was just not a good place to be. And instead of getting stuck in that and spiraling in that, which is very easy to do, I was grounded in Jesus. I was grounded in his word, in what he says to do. He says, never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you are honorable. Do all that you...
I'm just going to say now, I'm so mad at you guys for suggesting this to me, because I'm getting Bible worship shit, and all I want to know is what drama channel saved her life.
...can to live in peace with everyone. Romans 12:17-18. And then somebody here added, this is not weakness, this is warfare. Anyone can react, anyone can clap back, anyone can return the insult. But we're told, dear friends, don't take revenge. And had I been in my word, had I been reading the Bible every morning, had I been praying, had I been meditating on the word, had I been talking to God, had I been asking him to guide me to scripture, like, you know, I could have saved a couple days. I could have really, you know, instead of waking up and going to my Bible, I was waking up and going to TikTok comments. You know what I mean? Like, it's all consuming.
I hear that.
And then here's where God allowed me to not only move on from this.
I was like, tits in a tangle. What a fucking name. I love this. Tits in a tangle says, I'm by no means on Gabby's side, but hear me out. If hundreds of people are telling you that you are something, let alone the whole internet screaming at you, the last thing that most people are going to do is actually cave in and admit to themselves that they were genuinely right. It just won't happen. And I kind of blame the online sphere for putting her in that frame of mind. I don't know. But again, whilst I understand 100% what you're saying, it's not unusual. It is not unusual. There was a period of time where, like, so many people, like, really hated me. And I'm talking about, like, in 2019. Like, I'm kind of past that era of my life now. But there's so many people who are out to get me. So many people who hated me. So many people who are making lies about me. So many people. So it's not a unique thing. And we all do eventually get past it. But we have to be able to build that strength in ourselves. And she tries to derive that strength from the word, from scripture, from the Bible. And I just feel like this unique situation feels unique because it's happening to her, but it's not unique. It happens to every content creator, no matter what. You could be a content creator who just makes videos about meal prepping, and there will be some person who has beef with you over absolutely fucking nothing. It's just the way that it is. And it's about how you move through that. So whilst it feels unique, and it is a unique situation because we are, getting into this internet generation where everybody is exploring their lives online. However, this is no longer unique because a lot more people are exploring their lives online, and a lot more people, are experiencing that. Like, for instance, there's a lot of people who are on the internet no longer posting. And this is a video that I wanted to make a while back. But basically, have you ever been on social media and there's like this girl, right? And she's done a makeup look, and it's not the best makeup look. In fact, it's kind of really ashy. They haven't primed their skin. It wasn't good. They tried to copy another creator, and they kind of failed just a little bit. But they're trying, right? They're trying makeup. They're having fun, and the fun of the internet has now been taken away because even the average person who posts something that they enjoy, that they like, that they had fun with, just playing around with makeup in their bedroom, just having a kiki and a good old time. Now because like platforms like TikTok and Instagram are allowing you to post like, GIFs, people are making fun of these people. People are making fun of the way that these people look. People are making fun of the way that these people talk. People are making fun of so even if you are an absolute nobody with less than 1,000 subscribers, just posting things that is that you are interested in, if you have a fucking viral video, girl, or at least a mildly interesting video that people are interacting with, it is so easy to have the entire world talk shit about you. So now we're seeing less people try. We're seeing less whimsical people. We're seeing less people just having fun with makeup. We see less people just trying makeup and eventually developing that skill and getting better with makeup. We're seeing less of all of those kind of things. We're seeing less people take part in acting challenges. We're seeing less of that because people don't want to be scrutinized on the internet. So whilst it feels unique, even down to the lowest denomination, like an average Joe just creating content for them that they never really thought was going to be out there in a huge way, even the average person is getting hyper scrutinized. So it's not unique. And we do have to develop, mindful skills to be able to deal with it.
In this moment, but to actually, truly, not only forgive, truly forgive, not just say forgive and pray that you can forgive, but actually forgive these people. He shifted my hate to empathy, compassion, love, and sorrow in a meaningful way. Because he reminded me what that life felt like. Because that's not what my life looks and feels like most of the time. I'm not thinking about this stuff most of the time because most of the time I'm offline. But as soon as I come back online and it's just, oh, Gabby Hannah's back, maybe let's just leave her alone. Living in that hate was such a nightmare. Living in that drama was such a nightmare. I used to live like that all the time.
And you also okay, I know we don't, okay, I know the internet doesn't particularly like Gabby Hannah right now, right? But we are also talking about a constant state of fight or flight response. Like constantly. Because like even down to the other day, right, when I was saying that there was people who were upset with me for putting Jessie Smiles' photo in the thumbnail of my Gabby Hannah video, right? Bearing in mind I have access to Jessie and we can talk at any point. Like there's no issue. If there was a beef, I'm sure we would have resolved it, right? Turns out I reached out to her after the fact. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, but after the fact, and she didn't care. So I was kind of right in my assumptions that she probably wouldn't care. However, right, when that took place, right, there was like numerous different people who felt some kind of way, numerous different people who'd formulated their own opinions, numerous different people who had, said something. And because of that, when I said that's kind of parasocial and weird, which is the tone I'm speaking to you now in is the exact same tone that I felt that I gave. But everyone's like, wow, there's no need to lash out on your fans. There's no need to be so aggressive, Paige. Why are you taking things out on your subscribers? I'm like, hold on. I just said that it was kind of parasocial and weird. I did not say it in the way that you guys assumed that I said it. However, even so, even if my response was aggressive, even if my response was guarded and with my backup, considering how the internet treats a lot of people in general outside of myself, I don't think it's wild to have your backup immediately. I don't think it's wild that a content creator who you might have been giving quite easily some of the most chill commentary and critique to might sit down and think to themselves, well, hold on, what are you trying to fucking say, bitch? Say it with your chest. Like, that's not unusual. And I think that people don't understand what it's like to be on the receiving end of so much criticism all the time, and then to expect you to meet everybody with ease, meet everybody with the idea that everybody's coming to you with kindness and joy and respect, because for the most part the internet is not respectful. So I also understand constantly being in that state of fight and flight, because even if that was my response, which it wasn't, by the way, but even if that was my response, to be upset, angry, aggressive, which is the term they love to use for us black women, aggressive, even if that was the case, it doesn't really make a fucking difference, because I'm facing a lot more scrutiny than you are. Therefore, even if I have my back up, there should literally be at least a level of leniency to be able to understand what it's like to be on the receiving end of so much all the time. Because you're just one commenter, but if there is 50 of you, it makes a whole different thing, you know? So I understand at least that level of constantly being in this state of fight and flight and constantly feeling like you need to defend yourself. But again, like I said, let them.
Knowing that these people live like that all the time. God freed me from that life of hate, toxicity, negativity, just trying to bring others down, because it's one thing to receive hate. That is something that I can do. That is something I can handle. That is something that God has made me feel pretty bulletproof to, for the most part. Like, I am always at all times constantly receiving hate, either to my face, online, or in the energy that I feel from all of
Tucky Momo says, are you sure, Gabby? Like, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
the millions of people hating on me online, right? That is irrelevant. But when the hate is coming from within you, when the hate is spewing out of you, when you're carrying that hate, that obsession with another person, this idea of retaliation or revenge or exposing or winning, like that feeling.
I don't know. One sec. We're going to have to open up Discord real quick. Discord. We're going to have to open up Discord real quick, because I'm going to have to object. Miss Gabby Hannah. I'm going to have to object, because I'm pretty sure one of my researchers just posted a screenshot on Discord. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. A screenshot on Discord of her basically saying, like, I'm going to keep going. So hold on. I'm just going to change the screen real quick. Landscape. Hold on, let me see if I can find him. Discord. Could we see Discord? Discord. Why is it not showing Discord? Motive. Discord. Where's Discord? Okay, let me save the photo. Okay, I've saved the image. Hold on. And then let me see if I can put it on my Google Drive real quick. New. File upload. Let me see if I can. Here you go. Let's see if we can. Here you go. So can you guys see this? I've just posted it for you. So somebody had posted the screenshot of Jessie Smiles' video, and it says, Gabby Hannah will never stop. And then it says, Gabrielle Croner just said, she's right though, I won't ever stop. So she's speaking. She's ultimately speaking about like getting out of this place and like not having this hate in her heart and wanting to keep going and all of this kind of stuff. When I can see from her social media that she's actively still persisting and going. She's still combating everybody with a incessive need to win, with an incessive need to be right. You know what I mean?
I would not wish on my worst enemy.
Objection.
And I woke up this morning with so much gratitude that all of my prayers for wisdom, for discipline, for God to keep me safe and out of this path again were answered in a million ways, in my actual spirit, in the way that God literally changes my entire For You page. As soon as I say a prayer, as soon as I stop feeding into the negativity and I say a prayer, my For You page immediately becomes exactly what I need to hear about forgiveness, about not having hate in your heart, about being the model of Jesus, about being pure in your speech. It's so...
Blackwood Baby Doll just says, I'm convinced her friends are the same friends as Kendra the psychiatrist has, aka AI bots. I don't know if that's the case. I think she probably does have some friends, but I think they probably placate her. Dang, every single time I switch from YouTube to Twitch lags so much more. Is it lagging on Twitch? Because this is my first time duo streaming from this location. So if it is, then we'll have to take a look into that. I'll take a look into that before the next stream next week.
Oh, miraculous. Like when you just let him in and engage, like when you obey. That was the message I kept getting, is God doesn't need anything except your obedience.
You guys said it's good.
And he is working in your favor. Specifically, he is working in your reputation. He is working in rooms that you are not in. He is doing things you cannot see. Stop. Literally, my whole my feed changes to stop trying to defend yourself to people who are trying to misunderstand you. Like, God answered me. He made me pick up this as I was headed out of the door to the gym. Pick up your Zip It devotional that I put in your feed.
But she didn't zip it, bro.
Until you bought it. See what word is in there for you today. Like, he used all these tools that I allowed into my life.
Can I just say, this is a 22-minute video. We are 18 minutes in and she still has not told us what drama channel saved her life.
And was able to communicate to me.
I hate this.
Gave me my husband, who wants me to express myself. He wants me to tell my story. He wants me to advocate for myself as a victim and for other victims of psychological abuse, because it is real. My experience is real, and it's something that deserves and needs to be heard. There's so much wisdom in this. There's so much good storytelling in this, giving me scripture, like reminding me, like my husband, as I'm getting upset, like even just behind the scenes saying hateful things about these people, like truly, like what is online is not even close to the way that I have felt about these people.
You gotta think.
My husband
you gotta think about a kind of venom. Like, think about the because she was angry in that last podcast, right? Think about the kind of venom she must speak about these people when we're not rolling, like when the cameras aren't rolling.
Me, they have their own trauma. They're acting out of XYZ. Like, we are.
Para just says, I mean, diaries exist if she needs to write her story. Like, true say. There is loads of different mediums that she could be using, but apparently we're the therapist.
We're all victims of this world. You have to love them. Jesus died for them too. Jesus died for them too. Like, it's easy for me to judge their version of this sin because I can't personally imagine going to that extreme to hurt people. But
now, Gabby, I've been with you. I've been rocking with you. I've been talking to you about the word and Bible. I don't subscribe to Christianity, but I know enough about Christianity to understand where you're coming from, girl. I heard you. I wanted you to go forward in God and glory. But that was a fucking lie. That was a fucking lie, Gabby. I object. That was a fucking lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. What do you mean?
Because I can't personally imagine going to that extreme to hurt people.
Somebody posted a picture of Jessie Smiles' video saying she will never stop, and she was like, yeah, I won't ever stop. Somebody says you should apologize to Jessie Smile for the things it is that you've done. She said, for what? Why should I apologize? Now, without going too deep, because I don't think it's positive to rehash all of that shenanigans. We all know what took place between herself and Jessie Smile. We don't need to explain it. But Gabby, you sat down and posted 4 hours of voice recordings between yourself and Jessie Smiles in order to exonerate yourself, and it made you look even fucking worse. I wouldn't go to those extremes to hurt people. Yeah, you fucking would, girl. Yes, you would. You would. And that's okay. We all have flaws. But let's fucking own them. Listen, I'm a Virgo, but I am a Scorpio rising, bitch. I have a forked tongue, and when I am angry, I can be so fucking vicious. It is a horrible personality trait of mine. But I own it because I'm human. I'm human and I have bad moments just like everybody else. But own the shit, bro. I would never go to that extreme. You did on multiple times, and it was literally fucking recorded. Like, we literally saw. My God, what a lie.
But what else have I done personally? Because I've definitely been greedy, hateful, prideful, condescending, retaliatory, like exploitative. Like, I've done everything that they do, just not the way they do it. And
I've
that's
done
what my husband had to
everything.
remind me too. Like,
I've done everything they do. I did the same shit as them, just not in the same way because I'm Gabby Hanna. Like, fuck off. I'm so sorry. She's lost me now. I'm lost.
God reminded me too. Like, we all have sin, and ultimately, they are just the vessel that God was using to get to me. And that was something else I had to get really centered and grounded in too, is that these people saved my life. They saved my life.
Oh, here we go.
And all of the prayer and all of the time and journaling and thought and reflection that I've done about this, I have thanked these people a million times to God. I have thanked these people in spirit. Like, I know that you have been such a tool. Like, if it weren't for any of these people, like, I just started seeing them as like these small children who I don't know what they've been through. Like, I don't know what they were raised up with. I don't know what they believe or why they believe it or why they don't. Like, I don't know anything. I don't know their past. And I'm just so grateful that, like, I was raised up with God. I was raised up with the fear of God and the knowledge of Jesus Christ, that I was raised up with that baptism so that I wasn't able to go down that path as well. And I'm thankful that he's faithful to me today, in that this week when I was about to go down that.
Is she talking about drama channel saved my life because she doesn't want to be anything like a drama channel? Is this the testimony?
Path when I was getting really hateful and retaliatory, that he's
because she sees drama channels as like hateful and retaliatory. Is this the thing?
Stopped me. And he's like, why are you envious of these people, Gabrielle? Why are you envious of these people? You don't want what they have.
She's jealous of drama channels. I'm so fucking lost. I have no idea. What is going on?
Stop trying to sit down at tables that I didn't leave room for you at. Exit. But I just want to let you know that
maybe she was wanting to make a drama podcast and decided again. I'm trying to put 2 and 2 and make fucking 12, bitch. I have no idea what she's talking about anymore. No idea. But it's okay because she repented, said Nico. Bunny just says she's jealous of the integrity of which she has none. Steph says it's clickbait at its finest. Yeah, I feel like we've been clickbaited. I will not be watching Gabby Hanna again.
There is a happier life. There is a more purposeful, meaningful, loving, fulfilling life. There is a more peaceful, joyful, comfortable life. There is something that's going to take away that anxiety, that depression, that darkness, that addiction, that hatred I'm relating to you. I'm relating to you. It's not easy, but it is worth it. And
So are we all like hateful demons as like drama commentators? Are we like all hateful demons? And because she related to us, she's like, you saved my life. Because I could have been like, you fucking trifling ass bitches, but I'm not, because I'm saved by God. Is this what's happening? Is she dunking on us? Is that what's happening right now? Am I garbage? I feel like I'm garbage. Am I garbage?
really am sorry to you guys and to the public for engaging in this at any point over the years. Okay, so that was my testimony of the week. Now I get to tell you my testimony of my life. I'm gonna get a coffee first though.
Okay, I guess this is the end of the video. Well, Gabby Hanna is apologizing for even engaging in it. And you know what? At least I can give it that, bitch. 9,000 views. Did I dislike it? I sure fucking did. Because why did you clickbait me, you raggedy bitch? I don't like that at all. I do not. But yeah, let's have a decompress. What are your guys' thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts? What are your thoughts? Because was she dunking on us a little bit? Like, did I read that incorrectly, or am I just like putting myself on like my version of events first? Like, was she saying that she doesn't want to be hateful and mean like us? Because I know that because this is the thing, she made a whole hoo-ha about all of these drama channels that she felt had ruined her life and had amplified this whole situation with her and Trisha Paytas, right? Angelica Alls, Dustin Daly, Nick Snyder, Adam McIntyre, Anna Oob, Spill Sesh, like loads of different people, Smokey Glow, right? She brought all of these people, Ready to Glare, all of these people's names up, and I was like, so how did the drama channel save your life? But I feel like this is kind of, she was even talking in this video about being condescending and that being a bad trait. I feel like this is condescending. Did the drama channel save your life because we're such scumbags that you just don't want to be anything like us? It's like that, the tea. Laura Elijah says, I saw the suggested video was her overcoming her fear of flying, and I think that was so much better than whatever this was. I haven't watched that video. Vivid just says, it's kind of sad to watch. Void Nurse just says, I just feel sad, to be honest. Steph just says, I feel like she's going to do something bad and justify it by saying Jesus made me do it. I think that Gabby Hanna might well just be... just in a little bit of a moment, and I'm waiting for what happens, because I have a feeling that it's not like, I have a feeling that all is not good in the hood. That's just my feeling. That is my intuition. It may not be based in reality, but my intuition feels like all is not good in the hood, and that Gabby Hanna is going through something, and we're watching it again. That was my initial thought the first time that I saw her podcast. So that is the whole situation. Thank you so much, Miff. That is the whole situation with Gabby Hanna. We've all caught up. There's nothing really much to say. She's doing this godly thing. Good for you. I just feel like she's missing the premise. I feel like anybody who reads the Bible in any real capacity, and even if we take me out, because I'm obviously a Bible cynic, I'm obviously a Christianity cynic. So even if we remove my thoughts and opinions, anybody who truly loves God and who truly does believe in the Word and who truly does believe in the Bible, I think they would say that she's going about this the wrong way too. I feel like if I was to, because you guys don't know this, but my nan, she was a missionary. I had one nan who was a Methodist, and I had another nan who was a Jehovah's Witness. So one half of my family is Jehovah's Witness, the other half of my family is Methodist, right? So I was raised in both churches, okay? And when I tell you that even the family on the Methodist side would say, yeah, girl, like, she's not understanding the word. She's not understanding what the Bible's saying. She's not understanding the book. She's not understanding how God's grace is supposed to be implemented. That they would say that to me. So I feel like anybody, even if we remove me, who is obviously a Bible cynic, who's obviously a Christianity cynic, even if you were to remove my thoughts and opinions, I feel like anybody who knows the word and knows the Bible would say she's misunderstanding. So I hope that she finds understanding. That's what I think personally. I hope that she finds understanding, because it's clear that the Bible and the Lord and God gives her comfort, and everybody deserves comfort. So that's where I'm at right now. Lorelai says, I heard that she's bipolar, might be in mania. She needs help like now. I have bipolar. Nothing scary about having bipolar. I think that we need to have a lot more discussions around bipolar, quite frankly. And I think that the Gabby Hanna is, just so I feel like something's brewing. I can't put my finger on it. And I've said this a bunch to you before, but my intuition is usually right. And it's like a sixth sense. It is this sixth. If I tell you that somebody ain't shit, and then you, literally, it could take 3 fucking years. You guys will turn around and say, that person wasn't shit and Paige was right. There is an internet meme that is currently going around that is Paige Christie is always at the scene of the crime. Because whenever I've said that something don't sit right in my soul, and it's like this intuition feeling, it ends up being right. And then people were like, rah, she was right. I told everyone that the world was going to go on lockdown for COVID in March. The world went on lockdown in COVID. Bitch, when I tell you my intuition about things is crazy accurate, it is crazy. My son stopped breathing in the middle of the night. I caught him just as he stopped breathing. Intuition. I called the ambulance, all this kind of stuff. We took him to the hospital. He's all well and good now, but that could have been a cot death. Had my intuition not kicked in, I just knew something was right. Something woke me from my sleep, right? Well, other stuff, like I've been making Ethan Klein videos long before it was cool to dislike Ethan Klein. Now everybody hates Ethan Klein, and they're coming back to my videos like, wow. Then they're picking up on the PB nerd thing. Nobody knew about PB nerd until I brought it into the vicinity. Why? Because I have been the longest subscriber to being Ethan Klein's hater. But when my intuition is right about something, everybody finds out eventually. I was saying that the whole situation with Trisha Paytas and the way that she was being treated was kind of fucked up and wrong. Now in 2025, 2024, people are like, yeah, the way that we treated Trisha Paytas was wrong. I can't believe that we were steered in such a way to brigade her in such a nasty and negative fashion. I was right at the time. You guys, if you saw the dislikes on that video, you would sit there and still think I was wrong today. I was not wrong. The majority of the internet is now on my side. It is an intuition. It is a sixth sense. And when I tell you something in my soul is not sitting right about Gabby Hanna, and I think she's going through something, and I think we're going to watch it all over again, trust and believe that that's my intuition speaking. And it is not based in any facts, but I feel it. I feel it at the pits of my soul. So, with that being said, we've gone through Gabby Hanna. Next up on the list, we have Evangelina Scarf. Now, Evangelina Scarf, 134,000 subscribers over here on YouTube. Beautiful girly. We love her. She made a video about Colleen Ballinger 3 weeks ago, so I'm so far behind because I have not been following Colleen Ballinger. It's called New Colleen Ballinger Live Show is Worse Than You Thought. I am going to put this at 1.5 speed. Only because I love you, Vangela, but you do. Here I am stuttering. You take a while to speak. So with that being said, I'm going to put you on 1.5 speed, but we are going to be taking a look at this. I want to know what's been happening. I imagine, and this is just, I haven't watched the video, but I imagine that Colleen Ballinger is now doing a live show that is like mostly for adults. That's what I'm thinking that we're going to have a look at. Lynott just said Evangelina is a sweet baby angel. She is. She's such a, and do you know what? She's a nice person in real life as well. Like, we've spoken outside of YouTube, and she's a nice person in real life. So definitely go and support her. I like people who are good humans, period, and she's definitely one of those. So let's go take a look at what it is that she's talking about. It's called New Colleen Ballinger Live Show is Worse Than You Thought. Let's take a look.
Miranda Sings is right behind me, isn't she? Colleen Ballinger just did 2.
Wait, hold on. We might have to put that on 1.25 because that was a little fast. But also, Is she performing as Miranda still? That is embarrassing. Is she still doing that?
Miranda thinks is right behind me, isn't she? Colleen Ballinger just did 2 live shows in New York City, and footage from it has leaked, of course. Now, it took a few days for this footage to leak. I feel like if this was back in her heyday, it would have been like instant, but it's here. It's finally here. So obviously I want to watch it with you guys and I want to talk about it because I have a lot to say about it. Is anybody surprised? I'm not. Now,
I think Vangelina's got some new lips. Like, she's had filler put in her lips, and I must say, I endorse this. I like her lips. Her lips look real fucking good. Those look juicy, and they're not too. Can I just tell you? And this is not like no shade, but kind of shade. White women, please do not overfill your lips. Don't get me wrong, lip filler, do your thing. Whatever modification it is that you want to do, whatever, right? But this right here is just enough to be juicy, but not so much that you look fucking crazy. I love the amount of filler that she's got on her lips right now.
even though my expectations for this show were on the floor, somehow it is still worse than I thought it was going to be. And I want to preface everything we're going to talk about this show, right? About Colleen's show, about the jokes she made, all her prep for it, with one very, very important detail, which I feel is being overlooked, which is that Colleen's children watched this show.
Woo! Okay, straight out the gate, bitch.
That's suspicious.
That's weird.
That's weird.
That's weird. What do you mean your kids watch the show? You would think that she would want to separate that from her character as much as humanly possible. I mean, yeah. Too Fast, Too Furious. Hello, welcome back. They said there's a reason why those tickets are not selling, because I cannot imagine an adult that would enjoy Miranda. One sec. Vivid said it gets worse. Oh my god. What are we fucking in for? Okay.
According to Colleen, in her own vlog, I'm not going to show the clip because I don't like showing kids on the channel. I don't like showing her kids. So just know that it's there. You can check it out in her video if you want to. But in her own vlog where she is talking about the show and going to New York to do the show, there's a clip towards the end of her kids with Rachel, which is their aunt, Colleen's sister, getting ready to watch a live stream of Colleen's show in New York City. That is highly important, I feel. And I don't know why this is not being brought up more, because once you see the jokes that she's making in the show, the bits that she's doing, the songs that she's singing, it is absolutely insane that she would say, yeah, sure, that's a good idea for my kids to watch this. Now, I know I'm saying this to you without any context of what's actually in.
Okay, I'm getting out right now. She's so pretty. She is such a pretty bitch. My goodness.
The show, but I need you,
and I love her eyebrows, thin eyebrows. Come back. I need those like 90s, early 2000 eyebrows. She looks so good.
To know that up front, because I didn't know this until after I had already seen all the clips of her show, and it just really changed how I viewed it, and I just feel like it's important to look at that from the very beginning. So anyway, we are going to be looking at these clips. Now you know that piece of information. Now you can keep that in the back of your mind as we're watching this. For every single joke that she tells, just remember she let her kids watch a live stream of that, and not only did she let her...
How old is... Okay, I'm not familiar with Colleen Too Tough. How old are her children? Too Fast, Too Furious says, free those kids. Also, by the way, this show was marketed towards all ages. Shut up. Okay. Mia just says, Reese Witherspoon brow. Very much. I see what you're saying.
Kids watch a live stream of that. She was not ashamed of that fact. She put that in her vlog for the world to see. Insane behavior. Now, just a little bit of context in case you have forgotten what's going on. Colleen has been teasing a comeback for a while. She did the whole podcast thing with Raven and Miranda. She has been trying to get back in the public's good graces, and she has been trying to bring back Miranda Sings slowly but surely. So all of this was culminating into this new show. It was a 2-night show in a 90-person theater in New York City, and it was called Clickbait Cabaret. And it was, supposed to be kind of more adult humor or whatever. It was originally advertised as an all-ages show, but then was later changed to adults only. So was that
smart
brought
decision
in because she wanted her kids to be there in person, and that's why it was all ages, but then she had to change it because of backlash? I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part. Anyway, she uploaded a vlog to her channel titled I'm Back.
Why is she scowling at me, bitch? Like, what is wrong with you?
That's how I'm imagining she's saying that. And in this, she talks about going to New York City, and she also shows her preparing for the show, rehearsing for the show, shows some of the bits, which include Miranda, and she shows us some clips from the show. And the clips that she chose, I am so baffled by. We'll get to it. But as well as this, we also have other clips that people who were at the show have uploaded. So let's just start with this first and foremost and see what she says.
Hello? Is this thing on? I'm alive! I haven't posted in like a month. We're in New York, and it's been a crazy few weeks.
You did 2 shows.
I did do 2 shows.
One woman.
I am
2
one
shows.
woman. I did do 2 shows.
And you were amazing.
Thank you, Lynn. We're having so much fun.
Sure.
And,
Chewing gum.
Chewing gum. We ate some sandwiches that were real rough, but it has been a crazy time. I needed to take a step back from the internet because we had Christmas, which was crazy. I was vlogging every single day and everything like that, and that was super fun, but then I just didn't have time to do anything else. I knew I had these little shows coming up that I planned, and I spent a lot of time writing, and then I got really sick, very sick, like couldn't move sick, and things were hectic. But now the shows are done, and so I can maybe be a human again and start posting again. I have random footage from the last, I don't even know what, maybe a couple weeks or something. I don't even know what I have filmed, if I have filmed anything. But if I have filmed anything, I'll put it in. It's just going to be a smorgasbord of stuff. Now, whenever I say words now that I don't know where they came from, I'm worried they're like not a good.
Hold on. Her oldest is 7 and her youngest is 4. Okay, I was sitting there. I could see a bottle, like a baby bottle in the background over here. I don't know if you can see it on the left-hand bedside table. It looks like there's a baby bottle with formula in it. So I'm kind of confused. Is that 4-year-old still on formula?
Word. Like a smorgasbord, a bad word. Where did that originate from? Now I'm like nervous.
Oh, dear.
What?
The chef in the Muppets would always be like, smorgasbord.
Did he? I thought he just said like gibberish.
Yeah, I think part of it was smorgasbord.
All right, we're gonna go.
Well, that's...
Hello, strangers. Sorry I disappeared.
Well, that was lovely. Well, yes, she was away for ages, right, on her channel, which is a big deal for her because she uploads constantly. She's doing near daily vlogging. She's showing her life. She's showing her children, of course. Why wouldn't she be doing that? It's what everybody does, I guess. It's not a problem at all. Just chickens and rocks or whatever. The weird thing is, though, because she wasn't posting, a lot of her audience, from what I could see, didn't even know that she was doing live shows because the only place that she actually promoted it was on Patreon. Plus, people on YouTube found out about it, as in us, not her fan base. And we were all talking about it, but presumably her fan base, the people who actually like watch her videos because they like her, don't watch us here. Ow, that hurt. They don't watch us, so they don't see what we're talking about. And if they did watch us, they would probably have some questions about Colleen and her behavior. That's neither here nor there. So the second show, from what I've seen people say, there were still tickets available on the day, which means she didn't sell out of that show, at least beforehand. Maybe she sold out at the last minute. But it's just a very weird choice to not advertise that to your actual YouTube audience. And I don't know if this was because she was trying to contain it. She was trying to stop it becoming like this big talking point.
I think she probably wanted to contain it because I think that if the audience at large were aware that, because I was not aware, right? So if the audience at large were aware that she was having this show, it would not have gone as well, I imagine.
Big question of like, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? Getting more people talking about it. But the thing is, we were talking about it anyway, so you might as well just advertise it at that point. Anyway, a lot of this vlog is, as she says, just random stuff, random clips, but we do get to, like I said, her rehearsing for the show, so we're gonna have a look at that as well, because you get to see a lot of like what she was doing here. You'll see what I mean anyway. Well, you will if the video would like to play. Why is it not? Okay. She was rehearsing at night after the kids went to sleep. The infamous instrument.
Oh my fucking god, please. Please, Colleen, if there is anything that you can do, it is put the fucking ukulele down. Put the fucking ukulele down, bitch.
What,
Please.
bitch? What?
Please, put the fucking ukulele down.
If you didn't hear that, she said something, we talk about your package and your name is BJ. Also, I have the same hoodie as her, so I'm really upset now.
What is my password? Oh.
Beautiful.
It's super fun. I love religious drama. That's right.
And if you can't hear what she's saying there, she's singing about religious trauma. I actually went to this comedy show of this, I cannot remember her name. Is it Taylor Tomlinson? Is that her name? She's this blonde millennial comedian.
I don't know if anybody has been watching that Netflix reality show, Star Search. It was like an old show that they like rebooted and put onto Netflix. And there was this one comedian guy, he got voted off last week, but there's this one comedian guy who had like a guitar. He was 20 times more funnier than Colleen is. There's nothing, I don't get, like I literally do not get Colleen's humor.
And she talks a lot about religious trauma, and she's like really big, right? I'm pretty sure she's had like maybe even a Netflix show. So I wonder if Colleen has taken inspiration from her and people like her.
Religious drama, get yours today. I got religious drama, baby. Slow dance with me to the sounds of be alive, baby.
Yeah, that's Dance With Me to the Sound of Blippi, by the way. I have to skip this bit because there's copyrighted music, but if you can see, she is dancing with a microphone stand, and that will become very relevant later. You will see. You will see
so
why.
much for subscribing.
I just have to mention maybe somebody makes an appearance there. It's the music end here.
And I came up with an idea for the show, and I'm still working on it, but I'm going to film it to see if it works, because I don't know if it works or not. What's this?
Oh my god, that cat is so fucking cute though. Also, I want a new kitten. I very much want a Sphinx, but I also don't want to buy a Sphinx. I just want to rescue a Sphinx. And nobody likes to give up their Sphinxes for rescue. So we'll find out if I can get a Sphinx, but I'm desperate to get a Sphinx.
You see what I mean? You see why the microphone stand is relevant? Is that outfit familiar to anybody? Anybody at all? Remind you of anybody who goes by the name of Miranda? See, we weren't like being dramatic when we all said over on the side of YouTube that she was trying to bring back Miranda Sings, and that she was, in fact, bringing back Miranda Sings. Her ghost is right there. Can't you tell? It's horrifying.
Mia just says the ukulele should sue for defamation. 100%. This is a fucking mess. I don't know what it is about Miranda. She fucking grinds my gears. I literally do not like her. I do not like her. Not even just because of the things. It's like beyond that. Like I literally don't like you. Like I don't like Miranda at all. I don't like the Miranda character. I don't like Colleen as Miranda. I don't like Colleen on her own. I don't like. Every time I see her, I'm like, this fucking bitch. Like I maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm just not her demographic. But I'm like, this bitch. I feel the same about Mr. Beast. I don't like Mr. Beast. I don't like Mr. Beast. Every time I see Mr. Beast, I'm like, this fucking guy. Same thing. Same thing.
Why are you kidding? This is not a joke. It's a joke, right?
My life.
She looks so much like her sister there. And there's the ghost once more to haunt us all. Also, I know I kind of skimmed past it there, but she did the horrible Miranda face. It's just like, why? Why can't you just reinvent yourself as a comedian? She wants to be a comedian. She wants to be...
Yeah! Do you know what? That's actually a good point. Is that she has the ability, because she has the drama chops to just do comedy. Why are we constantly like drawing back? Like it feels like Miranda's such a crutch. Like why are we constantly drawing back to that?
Performer, come up with some new material.
Yeah.
Please reinvent yourself, because a lot of the
100%.
stuff that she does in the show, I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but a lot of the stuff she ends up doing, including the fact that she just can't let go of Miranda, is just so stale.
Cringe.
And honestly, I have a lot to compare this to now, because we just watched Colleen's Netflix live show that she did a few years ago now. We watched that on the Patreon, and when you see what she's doing now, you can see that there's still remnants of exactly what she was doing years ago in her Miranda Sings live show. It's the same thing. And which, by the way, if you were wondering, yeah, you can watch it on Patreon right now. I know. You're welcome. I'm so selfless.
Go subscribe to our
you can actually
Patreon.
get
I'm going
20
to skip
extra.
through this.
We grow, the more feedback I can get. All right, we'll get to it. It's beautiful music, though.
Yeah.
This is so crazy.
Okay, so there's her rehearsing, right? But we also have we also have from the actual stage in New York. So this is
I
when she
love
went
that
there.
she's
This is the
skipping
tech
all the
rehearsal. She shows a
bullshit.
little bit of that, but then she also shows clips from the show itself. And I have a lot to say about this outfit, but I won't. It's feeling like,
You can see the screen from everywhere.
I don't know, Miranda Sings-esque. I don't know why. Maybe it's the pants.
The crazy thing is that Miranda Sings, aka Colleen Ballinger, can still fill a room. Even if it's not a sold out room, she can still fill a room. That for me is like the wildest part.
So you can see here in this section, she's just reading through comments and stuff, like YouTube comments. And this is one of the things I noticed, which is that in her live show on Netflix, a lot of what she was doing relied on reading comments from people. And that was like a huge bit of the show. I think that would have been maybe funny if she did it once, but she kept doing it throughout the show, and it just got old by the time you got to the end of it. I'm talking about the Netflix one, not this one. And like, she couldn't even come up with new material then. But now she's reusing the same material that was already stale then, and now it's just like, it's beyond stale.
She should have reinvented herself. I feel like everybody's on that same page. Vivid just says, no, it's always been shit. Of course, my cat started meowing in response to the cat on the video.
Just at this point, like, what
Thank
are
you
we
so much
doing?
for following.
Come up with something new, because listen, as much as I dislike this woman and I think she's disgusting and a freak, like, I can't tell her she can't pursue a career in entertainment, right? She can. She absolutely can. But I can still say, if you want to do that, you've got a really bad reputation. And at this point,
she needs to rewrite everything. I mean, rewrite everything. Shall I tell you what? Let me tell you, right? Okay. This is what Colleen Ballinger should do. She should come through and she should be like a full-blown stand-up comic. But she can still use her ukulele, right? But then use her ukulele as like her inner voice rather than like her outer voice, right? So like she can make a joke about how her career's gone to shit and like how nobody even watches her anymore and all of this kind of stuff. And then like the inner voice is like, you should probably kill yourself. You should probably kill yourself, or something like that. Like, obviously I'm being facetious here, but like something like that like would make people like start laughing. Do you get what I mean? Like, very much. Have you ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where it's like, everybody hates you, everybody wishes that you were dead, because Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck. Peter, your music is fucking terrible. Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck. All you do is just sit there and write these bullshit songs. They're so self-loathing. Go see a psychiatrist. I hate the psychiatrist. I hate the psychiatrist. Well, I'm not going. Like, remember that from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Like, that kind of thing would be so fucking funny if she owned everything, right? That would be like a whole new reinvention. Because not only is she now for adults, because like obviously that material is not good for kids, but not only is she only for adults, but also she's very self-aware of everything that has taken place in the past, and also of her inner demons and the things it is that she has to fight through. And it would allow people to get in close enough, not too far close that we start speculating on her life, but get in close enough to be like, Miranda is not the same girl. Like, Colleen is not Miranda. Like, the Miranda era is done. Do you get what I mean? That's in the past. And when we allow ourselves to like move away from Miranda and move away from the past, I feel like that's when she'd be able to really truly start flourishing. But again, she is just like Gabby Hanna, completely staying in that same era and never truly allowing herself to move on, which will ultimately become her own hindrance. Grown up only cabaret, yeah. Like, even like something like, even if she did some other crazy shit, like Miranda Sings, or, well, no longer Miranda Sings, but Colleen Ballinger, like, you know, even doing something like a funny fucking burlesque, right? It's like a burlesque and she's taking off her clothes or whatever, but it's like funny because like she's falling and she's hitting herself and she's, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of slapstick comedy, like something that was just different from anything it is that we've seen from her as Miranda in the past. And I feel like she's still using Miranda as a crutch because I think she doesn't think that she's funny without Miranda. Whereas, as much as I dislike Colleen, I would argue that she could easily be funny without the Miranda character.
Should you not be completely reinventing yourself as an entertainer, coming up with something new, coming up with something fresh, coming up with something that doesn't rely on jokes about a ukulele, on the same kind of jokes you would have made during your Miranda Sings days, in referencing Miranda Sings, the character who was, you know, a lot of your problems, a lot of the reason that you got cancelled, if we want to call it that. Not the whole reason, but a lot of it. And it's like, why are we doing this? Why can't you just do something else? If you really want to be an entertainer and be on stage and perform for people, why can't you just come up with something else? Do something else. And some people are going to say, but she did. She made more adult jokes. Like, she was still making adult jokes in her Netflix show the whole time. There was nothing that wasn't an adult joke in that, even though I won't get into it. Just watch that on Patreon if you want to. But like this, it's adult jokes, but it's
I haven't seen her Netflix comedy special. So members and patrons, those of you who are in chat right now, do you want me to go and review it? Because I haven't seen it. So it'll be interesting. I think I've seen clips of it. And I've definitely used clips in old videos, but I haven't watched the whole thing all the way through. So if you guys want to see me react to it, definitely let me know in the comment section and I'll make that happen.
Sort of genre, if you get me. It's the same genre of comedy.
It's all good. I'll check again.
Okay.
Right on the ukulele there with a picture of adult diapers. That's lovely. Really, see what I mean about this being the same level of comedy? But anyway, what I was going to say is the fact that, did we catch that? The whole Blippy song is about like, I want to get with my husband, but the kids are getting in the way of our sex life and they better stop cock blocking. Remember when I said at the beginning of this video that you need to keep in mind that she let her kids watch this?
Yeah, it's for all ages. Okay, yeah, that makes it a bit weird because I was like, there's nothing weird about that. There's like, you know, I always say like everybody makes that joke, especially like millennials, like people who are our age will make that joke about like, oh yeah, we always say to our husband, oh, you're gonna have the time of your life, and then like the next thing you know, we're just like lying in bed, like food dribbling out of our mouths, just like completely dead to the world because we said that we were gonna rock their world, but we K the fuck owed, right? So there's nothing wrong with those kind of more adult humor, you know, this is what parenting really is like kind of jokes. But I think I wouldn't want my kids to be privy to those jokes. I wouldn't want to post them in a way that my kids would be able to see, if that makes sense.
Live stream. She let her kid, I'm gonna just spell this out for you, okay, if we're not getting it. She let her kids watch a live stream of her show, which is adults only, in New York City, a show in which she sings about how her kids are ruining her sex life and need to stop cock blocking. Am I losing my mind, or is that so inappropriate and so weird? So weird. Why would you, like, it's so weird that I don't even have words for how weird it is. It's just, I mean, it's so in character for her, but if it was anybody else, I would be so highly confused. You know what I mean? It's just like, why are we doing that? Why did you let your kids watch that? Also, she censored the ukulele. Haha, very funny. Perfect. Anyway, this is still the rehearsal, but we're gonna get clips of the actual show. Another just reading a post. I just saw SpongeBob mac and cheese and you smack my ass written on the screen, by the way, and I'm wondering if that's
what
the
the fuck?
song.
No, I missed that. Hold on.
Anyway, this is still the rehearsal, but we're gonna get clips of the actual show. Another just reading a post.
SpongeBob mac and cheese, you smack my ass. What the fuck? That is insane.
I just saw SpongeBob mac and cheese and you smack my ass written on the screen, by the way, and I'm wondering if that's the same Blippy song. I'm begging, Colleen, please tell me that you let your kids watch the first 20 seconds where you say hello to everybody and then they weren't allowed to watch anymore. I don't think that's the case, but sure. There's the Miranda face.
Oh,
Excellent.
Lord.
Why wouldn't that be there? Dancing with the ghost of Miranda. Beautiful. That is the exact outfit she had on in the Netflix live show.
Is this
oh,
her
crap, I
kids?
showed the kids. Well, now that it's already blurred, I might as well just let you hear.
Hi, Mom. We're waiting for your show to start.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, as a parent, I probably wouldn't want my kids to watch that. I don't like my kids even, bearing in mind my videos are not for kids, so unless I'm like firing on all cylinders and there's like loads of different transitions, my kids would never watch my content anyway. They're very much of the Cocomelon generation, so they would never watch my content unless there was a lot of bright colors and a lot of things going on at the same time. Unfortunately, I have indeed raised iPad kids, which is not something that I wanted to do, but I digress. We move. But I would not want my kids to watch my content either. So I couldn't imagine doing over-sexualized content in this way.
It's just weird. Okay, I don't think I'm overreacting. Tell me if you think I'm overreacting, but I do not think that I am. Anyway, we actually have a longer version of that clip that was posted to Reddit, so we'll also watch that, obviously.
Can I just say,
with sound would be good.
Reddit, you chronically online bitches, I live for you, but I also hate you, but I also live for you because how did you get this shit?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
What's happening?
I don't know. What's happening? Hi, I love all of you.
So good to see you. So much fun. The most talented girl ever on the planet.
Oh, that's nice
If you say so.
Isn't that nice?
That's so nice.
Have you had a good time here in New York?
Yes, I have had a good time. I'm so excited to be here. This is where I started my whole career. Was right on this stage.
I know,
Because of
Jamie
you.
Riker, thank you.
Yeah, it was,
Thank you.
yes, that was so fun. And I brought my husband. He's never been here before. It's
Eric?
so special to have him here.
Are you having fun, Eric?
And my kids
The
watching.
magic of Birdland.
I'll make jokes about them cock
Do you
blocking.
want to sing or just want to talk, or what do you want to do?
Don't make me sing. I don't know. Only if you sing with me. And is that
What would happen?
I don't know. What do you guys want to? You do something and I'll join. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, whatever you want. What's the song you know? You like that orange colored sky? Oh, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
This
So,
I can't this is so weird. I can't tell if this is actually like a rehearsed bit or if she genuinely is surprised, because she's either it seems like she's genuinely like, oh, I don't know. You do whatever you want to do, and then was this? You're so nice. What?
I feel more comfortable singing as my character than as me tonight. So.
Okay.
That for everyone who doesn't know me, which is everyone, that made me sound very crazy. But
Yeah, just a little bit.
yeah.
But you are
Will you
crazy.
sing? But will you sing with me, or you leave?
Yeah.
You are crazy for letting your kids watch this. Yes, I agree.
What are we doing? Oh, sure.
Do that
Yes.
one. Because I know you know it.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite song. Are you ready to fix it?
I'll be ready whenever you want me to be.
Okay. Are you going to start?
Oh, straight into Miranda. It's like muscle memory.
That was a grown adult woman going, like, are you guys okay? Have you seen a comedy show in real life? Samora's just come out with a brand new comedy show on Netflix as a Netflix special. So has Cat Williams. There are fantastic comics out there that you can listen to. Like, the bar is in hell.
Flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came
Flash, bam, alakazam.
Look out for falling glass.
I need them to put up a sign to tell me when to laugh.
Thank you for subscribing. Flash, bam, alakazam. Could you imagine you're walking into a bar, you just go to the bar to go grab a drink because you don't know what bar this is, but you just want to go drinks, and there's drinks there, and you're hearing this on the stage, and you're with a friend, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
This is just straight up the bits from her Netflix live show. Like, this is just, I mean, that's the only bit, really. That's the only aspect of Miranda sings. Just doing it. You can sing badly in another way, maybe, at the very least. Still would be funny, but...
Okay, Miranda. I guess.
Well, that was cursed. I never...
She made me fucking cough, bitch. Well, that was cursed. Like, yeah. That was fucking cursed. That was weird. That was... My goodness. Oh, what a fucking mess. What a fucking mess. Yeah. I think we're done. She's only going to give her opinions after this. My opinions is Miranda needs to move on. Colleen, shall I say, needs to move on. I think if she tried to reinvent herself and do something that was like a little bit more like adult, a little bit more like acknowledging her past, like kind of what we said, like the forgetting Sarah Marshall, like, you know, using music in order to convey her inner voice kind of vibes. I feel like we could have had something better. I'm glad that she still has some fans. I'm glad that she's still working. I'm glad that she's still pursuing her passion, which is theater. She was also on the cast of Waitress in not the West End, on Broadway. So she's done Broadway shows, she's done Broadway productions, and it seems like that's where her heart is. I just wish that she'd have pushed the envelope just a little bit more personally. But as for can she move on from her past and still create, you know, content, still create music, still create, you know, drama? Yeah, sure. I think that that's definitely within the realms of things it is that she can do. Whether the internet will forgive her is a different conversation altogether, but ultimately, yeah, I think she can move on. I just think she's moving on very badly, and it's only going to make people remember the past version of herself and kind of reignite that in her mind, in our mind, in like the general public's consciousness. So that's where I'm at with that. Anyway, Voidness says, isn't that the Fallout theme song? I don't know. I don't follow Fallout. My husband does, so he'll probably be able to say. Can't she just leave her children? Can't she just leave children out of her comedy altogether? Whilst there was a child involved, 100%. I feel like that's something that definitely needs to be taken out. But thank you so much for suggesting that to me. Okay, next up, which is the shit that I've been desperately wanting to talk about, is Deaf Noodles' brand new grift. Now, if you guys remember a few years ago, and I don't know if somebody will be able to find the receipts for me, but I hope you will. Paige said that it wouldn't surprise her if after all of the stuff that happened with Deaf Noodles, that he would in turn be a part of the MAGA cult and start this new grift. I said this years ago. When I tell you, I was searching today to try and find the clip so that I could find it for you guys, but I think it's on an old Twitch live stream from like a year or two ago. Like I said, he's going to go full blown conservative. And then when that happens, like this transition is going to throw everyone, and it fucking happens. So without further ado, I have to tell you that I fucking told so. I fucking told you so. I told you 2 fucking years ago. And shall I tell you what really tipped me off with this? What really tipped me off with this was that I made a video on Deaf Noodles, and it was called Deaf Noodles and the Magical Negro, right? Something along those lines. And the whole premise of the video was Deaf Noodles using Black people in order to propel his own personal story of victory, but whilst never actually seeing through what happens to the Black people. For instance, he had 2 Black comedians who supported him relentlessly through all of the comedy show shenanigans it is that we watched a couple of years back in 2022, right? And one of them was called Steven, and the other one was called Casey or Cody or something like that. I can't remember. But it were two black men. And whenever Def Noodles wanted to make a point to the audience that he wasn't racist, he would bring in these like two black men. And I was like, I feel like you're using these black men as tokens, as pawns, right? You bring them out whenever you want to say that I'm really liberal, I'm so different to everyone else, and I didn't like that, right? I felt like the black men who were supporting him, after they'd said, for instance, I think one of their names is Cody, the big black guy with dreads, right? He turned around and basically had found out that one day his podcast was cancelled. He was working for Def Noodles for free, might I add. He was working for Def Noodles, and then he found out that his podcast show was taken down. And he found out by email. He was very upset about it because he was using this podcast space that Def Noodles was hosting in order to, build himself up. However, Def Noodles had his own podcast that he was hosting in the podcast space it is that Def Noodles had at the comedy space and all that kind of stuff. And Def Noodles was basically bringing these guys in to be co-hosts to talk about stuff, but all he'd ever talk about was like what people were saying about him, what social media was doing, how people were lying about him, just kind of doing that very Gabby Hanna, like, spiraling, just constantly talking about the shenanigans. And when all of that took place, right, I made a video called Def Noodles and the Magical Negro. Now, if you don't know what a Magical Negro is, think about a movie like 8 Mile, right? Or The Help, where there's black people who come in to help the overall arc story of the main white character. And then when they help them and their use has been fulfilled, they are no longer a part of the story. So like with Green Mile, right? Magical Negro comes in with some magical skills, helps the main racist guy work out his inner turmoil and racism, and then this guy dies and he's no longer a part of the story. In The Help, the black ladies come over, help the white family, help the white household. When the white ladies and the people around them understand racism and all that kind of stuff, these people just magically disappear. So these people, when it comes to a magical Negro in a story, they serve the purpose of telling the story and helping the main character learn something. And I felt like Def Noodles was using these black characters as magical Negroes, was using them in a way where they were to help his overall story, to be able to help share his story of not being a racist, not having, these, being left-leaning, all this kind of stuff, and serve their purpose for him. But then when it actually came to the things that these people needed, like Cody, who, needed his podcast, who wants to grow his comedy podcast and grow his career and all this kind of stuff, and using this space, the moment that he wasn't useful to him anymore, all of a sudden, the magical Negro disappears. He's no longer functionable, right? And I made a video about that. Def Noodles did not like that video. We had a live stream on Twitch few years back, I'm going to say like 2022, 2023, we had a live stream on Twitch and we spoke to each other. I even spoke to his girlfriend at the time and she was really lovely, I must say. I don't know if he's still with that girl, but if he is, she's fucking awesome. She was like an OnlyFans girl. Again, can I just say, worlds away from the guy it is that he's presenting himself to be. And I asked him, I said, Dev, did you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions about the videos it is that I've made? He went, no. And I have a feeling, and maybe I'm censoring myself so you guys can tell me if I'm doing too much right now. I genuinely believe that video it is that I made of him with the magical Negroes touched him in a way that he has never been able to recover from. Because I think he believed that as a Brazilian man who spoke Portuguese, a man of Brazilian descent who lives in America, that he would be giving the minority label and the elements of white privilege would not fall onto him. And then when it did fall onto him, when I explained about the magical Negro, I think he struggled with that concept. He didn't even want to approach that conversation with me when we're speaking to each other directly live, right? And ever since that moment, Def Noodles has done a complete and total 180. Completely not like barely representing himself as a Brazilian American immigrant and mostly representing himself as a white passing American national. And I felt personally that this is just me. Maybe I'm censoring myself, right? And you guys can tell me, Paige, you're doing too much. Paige, you're doing too much. But I personally think that he realized, and I think that this is something that mixed race people can sometimes go through, that he may not have been black enough for the black crowd. And I think that that affected him, right? Because there was a lot of people who were like, I see what you're saying with your video, Paige. And ever since that moment, he's just completely done a 180. I promise you, if you look at the fucking timeline, guys, right? Corey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was Corey, not Cody, the black guy with the dreads, the chubby black guy with the dreads. If you go back in fucking time, the moment that things started switching was like about 6 months to 9 months after that moment, and then we fully went into this new arc of Deaf Noodles, right? Then things just completely fucking changed, and we got this, like, you know, I'm more conservative, God first, I want to be We Are Charlie Kirk version of Deaf Noodles. And I found it so fucking interesting because I was like, wow, did that video really like touch him in a way that actually made him feel as if his privilege didn't being quote unquote white passing, his privilege didn't make him a minority enough? And did he always feel like people saw him as a minority, therefore, you know, the things it is that he was saying and the things it is that he was doing could be excused? And I didn't know whether what the situation was there, but all I'm saying is that I promise you, after that moment, things just switched. Things just switched. The way that he acted switched. The way that he presented himself switched. Just everything switched. Even to the point that, like, even Stephen and Corey on Twitter have been like, we don't even know who this guy is. He has a... And if I've got a screenshot somewhere, but I haven't got it prepared this evening. He had a live event, a comedy show at his comedy store, the Deaf Noodles comedy store it is that he has in LA. And it was called Whites Only. I shit you fucking not. Now, there's black people who were involved in the thing, and I guess that was like the ha that people were supposed to get so angry about it being called Whites Only when there was black people involved. I don't give two fucks. We knew what the premise was. We knew what we were trying to dig at. We knew what we were trying to harm people with, right? We knew what we were trying to do. So he was like... He made this show called, like, Whites Only Show, and it was hosted by a guy who, for all intents and purposes to me, presents himself as a white nationalist. It was just kind of fucking odd. And, like, I saw all of these things happening in the background. I've got some subscribers, some followers of mine who are on Discord who kind of keep me updated with everything that's going on with Deaf Noodles. And I was just kind of like, okay... We're getting into this MAGA grift thing. Then I started watching live streams. If you've been following on Discord, you guys will know about it on the live streams, right? There's live streams of Deaf Noodles going to these college campuses and all this kind of stuff and speaking to people and trying to do the very much Charlie Kirk thing of, you know, I think black people suck, come debate me kind of vibes. Obviously, that's me paraphrasing a really ridiculous topic, but obviously you get what I'm trying to say. And then we saw him running for Congress, his Congress video. Have you guys seen the Congress video? Because if you haven't, I feel like I have to show you. Because you guys need to see Deaf Noodles for Congress. Deaf Noodles Congress. Let's see. Deaf Noodles Congress. Where is his Congress video? If somebody could post it in Discord, because we've watched it once before, but it was fucking hilarious. But he like made this video about like how he's gonna change California and like how he wants to be, you know, the next person and all this kind of stuff. If somebody has it on Discord, please post it because I can't seem to find it right now. And we'll watch it at some point. But anyway, What happened more recently is he's been doing this MAGA grift. It hasn't been going well for him. Guy barely sees more than 1,000 views a video. However, he then went on to Jubilee, and it was one Democrat versus 20 MAGA Republicans, right? The person who was a Democrat was Isaiah Martin. If you don't know who he is, he has around 400,000 followers on Instagram, very similar numbers on Twitter. I'm not sure if he has a YouTube or anything like that, but he's a Democrat, and he basically, makes content surrounding what's going on, and very much heavily dunks on the MAGA cult, right? But he sits down with all of these people, and one of the first people to come up is Mr. Def Noodles, and he does so tremendously bad that it ends up turning viral. So let's take a look at what was said, and then we'll take it from there, because it was a mess, girl. It was an absolute mess. Okay. If I can get it to play, girl, hold on.
So you just made Americans pay more for everything that comes from Canada because they showed a commercial you didn't like? That sounds like being a snowflake, if you ask me.
They're posting, bro. I don't know if you're acting stupid.
Can I just say, before we even get into it, Def Noodles did really bad, like really, really bad. And it just goes to show how Def Noodles functions when he's actually in front of an extremely intelligent individual.
Or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying?
It did happen. Yeah, we had funding for things that are outside of the country, for transgender balls, transgender plays, transgender balls. Yes, they exist.
Of those people that are sitting in ICE detention facilities right now, how many do you think have been convicted of a violent crime?
Well, 100% because they're all illegal. And
I said convicted of a violent crime.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Martin. I'm a former candidate for the United States Congress, and I'm here today surrounded by 20 MAGA Republicans.
Okay, so Def Noodles is the first person who comes up, and he never comes up again. And I think it's because he's so fucking embarrassed by how he performed.
My first surrounding claim is that Trump's mass deportation plan is making us less safe.
Ready? Def Noodles, he's ready to go.
Hey, how's it going, brother? Good to see you.
Great to meet you. It's interesting that you claim that because according to the DHS, 70% of the people who have been deported so far have been...
Can we just take a moment for Def Noodles' new look? Can we just take a look at Def Noodles' new look?
I like it, Picasso.
I like it,
I like it, Picasso.
I like it, Picasso.
Okay, I like it, Picasso.
Remember when this guy tried to make out to the rest of us that he was under 25? What were we thinking?
Criminals, either caught in the act, yes. I'm surprised you're surprised. You ran for Congress and you don't know this?
That's what those numbers said?
That is 70%. The other 30% are people who went through the entire immigration.
So, bear in mind, I feel like it's important. The SAN fact check says, this claim fails to distinguish between convicted criminals and those accused of breaking the law. Using U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement data, the CATO Institute found in December 2025 that 47% of ICE bookings had not been charged with a crime.
Process and had some sort of deportation detainer. So that is 700,000 people were deported like that. 1.9 million people self-deported.
As of January 20th, DHS says that the Trump administration has deported 675,000 people in the last year, whilst an estimated 2.2 million have self-deported.
So far. That's all DHS data. It's publicly available. You can look it up. So how are you standing for criminals? Is that what you're doing right now?
Of interior removals, 70% of the people deported literally have not been convicted criminals. What are you talking about? That's according to DHS.
That's according to DHS? Where are you getting your data from?
DHS.
What day? This is like just recently.
Last from up to October or mid-October of this year.
So we're going to need a fact check on this because I literally checked yesterday.
He got fact checked and he got wrecked. Bro, he got wrecked.
They're not convicted criminals. 70% of the people deported are not convicted criminals under interior removals.
They were people that had either been convicted criminals, or they had, we're like at a stalemate because now you're claiming something, I'm claiming something from the same source. So
70% of the people that have been deported under interior removals are not convicted criminals, and that is a fact.
That's not a fact.
Embarrassing.
It literally is.
It's 70%.
I'm sorry, embarrassing.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is very embarrassing.
It is very embarrassing. Embarrassing.
I'm telling you, I looked it up.
I think you got it upside down.
At the end of the day, it is what's happening. They literally publish the photos of everybody who's being deported.
So I didn't realize that they posted every single photo on.
No, they published.
He's a fucking liar.
40 of them, yeah.
I'm gonna shut up.
But there's data.
Really?
This is, yeah. I mean, you're hitting back at
You're
me
saying
with
they
data
deported hundreds of thousands of people and they post pictures of every single.
They're not posting. See, this is what you're doing here is you're building like this false deflection around it. I didn't say everybody. I said they're posting photos of people who are being deported. Yes.
So that means that they're deporting.
They're posting, bro. I don't know if you're acting stupid or you're purposely just like misconstruing what I'm saying. Yeah.
But here's my argument.
One sec, hold on. Abia Linda says he sure wants that fact checked. It is. That would have been a lot of work. Yes, you did. First time chatter, multicultural, welcome. It says Jubilee out here producing influencer morality plays. Honestly, I hate Jubilee because I feel like, especially these, surrounded episodes, they make us combative against each other, and it causes more division. But can I say that I will stop watching? Absolutely not. I watch them every time.
Of those that were deported under interior removals, 92% of them were convicted criminals.
Okay, President Obama didn't institute the policy shift on immigration enforcement that prioritized immigrants based on criminality until November 2014, nearly 6 years into his presidency. According to the Migration Policy Institute, 85% of interior deportees had criminal convictions in that fiscal year.
Of that 92%, 81% of them were considered tier 1, worst of the worst per se. I think that is something that makes us a lot more safe than literally.
That metric doesn't cross that metric didn't cross 92% until the fiscal year of 2015, when 93% of non-border deportations had prior criminal convictions.
Roaming around to go get grandmas in CVS that speak Spanish or going to that construction
that's an absolute
on a job site.
The Migration Policy Institute says, during Obama's first term in office, 51% of interior removals were of individuals convicted of what DHS describes as a serious crime. The policy change greatly reduced the total number of interior deportations from 224,000 in the fiscal year of 2011 to just 64,000 in the fiscal year of 2016.
That's an absolutely false narrative because that's actually
just what the facts say. I mean,
that's
the
not
facts
what's
just
happening.
don't really care about
You just
reality.
see this is common with what the left does.
While several news outlets report grandmothers being detained by ICE, as well as instances of immigrants being detained near CVS stores, there's no documented instances of the two converging. ICE raids at construction sites have been well documented.
You guys just
the left loves facts.
No,
that's kind of how that goes.
That's not what you guys do at all. What for anybody watching at home, this is what they do. They get a piece of data, they fabricate a narrative around it, and then they try to sell it to you as a truth when in fact it's not.
Your data.
So
your data.
I mean, I came here.
This is Trump's own website.
I came here with a piece of data. You completely rewrote it in real time.
No, I gave you the facts.
You completely rewrote it. I mean, I'm surprised you ran for Congress. You're one of the most disingenuous, dishonest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I was literally taken aback for a second. I was like, how? Like, I looked this up yesterday. How is this guy sitting here lying so blatantly? You should be ashamed. No, seriously, dude. And I can see it in your face. No, you literally just sat here and lied. And you're like breaking down in real time.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
It's so incredibly so tell me, why are you so in favor of criminals being in this country?
In what way was anything it is that Isaiah just said, just saying that, yeah, I'm in favor of criminals being inside the country? Like, that's not what he said even slightly.
I told you that 70% of the people that Trump is supporting literally are not convicted criminals for interior removals. I mean, I don't understand what about this.
So you really buy into that narrative that little grandmas are walking around. Oh my God! Oh, let's get grandma. Let's kick her out of the country.
That's literally what they're doing.
That's not what they're doing. Cite one case like that.
Of what? Of
one case of the little grandma standing at the taco stand getting deported.
Objection. The taco stand, bro. That's embarrassing. Do you know what's the craziest thing? Is that Deaf Noodles is legitimately an immigrant, right? He's an immigrant of America. He got naturalized, all that kind of stuff. But also, Deaf Noodles is what many would consider a quote-unquote anchor baby, because his parents were on student visa. I think his father, shall I say, was on a student visa when he came over, and he ended up having Deaf Noodles come over at the same time. So he, for all intents and purposes, is exactly the kind of quote unquote immigrant that the Trump administration is like seeking to remove, which is crazy to me.
You can't cite it.
Something it is that he benefited from.
There we go. There we go. You can't cite.
Are you denying the fact that
No.
70% of the people
I'm
that
holding
they're
you to account because that's the narrative you're just running with, and then you can't cite a specific example.
What I'm telling you.
Again, this man is deeply disingenuous. Thank God you're out of politics. We don't need more lying politicians like you.
What we don't need.
We don't need more lying politicians like you. I'm running for Congress too. I'm actually still in the race. Yes. In Hollywood, Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena. We need people who tell the truth. We don't need liars like you.
When this episode comes out and they show the fact check and you are miserably wrong, as you clearly
I'm not going to be wrong.
And they show this is going to be really beautiful when America gets to watch the fact that the person running to be your next congressman literally cannot read data.
This guy's breaking down. He's like looking at the clock. Please get me out of here.
I think I'm doing
pretty good. You're looking at the clock, dude. You're breaking down in real time. I can see your face.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
This is very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
Twitching.
I think I'm just chilling.
You don't seem like it.
Because here's the reality, is that under Barack Obama, we know that we focus more on the convicted criminals, and you guys just aren't. I'm sorry that the numbers don't back up what you're talking about, but that's just the reality.
They literally do.
This is just going to be just so beautiful because when they show this fact check, we're just going to, I guess, one of us is going to go viral over this, I guess.
Already destroyed
How can a guy be so confident in something and be so wrong?
I think we paused.
Pause.
Okay, well.
This is gonna be a great fact check, I will say.
Okay, so that was all of what Def Noodles did, right? He went on there, he made his little shindig at the beginning, definitely went out of his way to promote that he was running for Congress in LA or California or whatever. And it was just it was bad. And he's made like numerous different videos, basically combating this and combating Isaiah. They've been going back and forth on Twitter. I've watched it happen. And it was just kind of messy. However, because of this, he ended up having the opportunity to go on to Ethan Klein's show of H3H3. Obviously, if you don't know the law, Ethan Klein and Def Noodles presented an award ceremony for influencers, I guess, and it was very like jovial, hyperbolic kind of thing, like, you know, the worst person to do whatever on the internet or whatever. And so Def Noodles and the H3 team are very familiar with each other. So when Def Noodles went viral for him being so incredibly wrong during his Jubilee stint of like literally 10 seconds, they decided to bring him on. However, if you guys don't know what's been going on, Def Noodles has been on this, I would consider, and this is my personal perspective, as an anti-gay triad. Especially as it pertains to Adam McIntyre. He seems to constantly be trying to provoke the conversation of gay men being bigger sexual predators or being bigger sexual deviants in general than any other demographic in the US. And he tries to have that conversation with Ethan Klein now. Ethan Klein, you guys know I am not his biggest fan, okay? That is putting it lightly. I do not like Ethan Klein under any circumstances. However, what I will say is Ethan Klein handed his ass to him in a way that I can support. So let's take a look at the clips. And I'm saying clips because this was much longer when I watched the actual live stream of what Def Noodles had to say with him. And they speak about the whole gay issue. So let's take a look at how Def Noodles reacted and deflected and how we couldn't get a straight answer from Def Noodles. So let's take a look.
But do you think gay men have a higher tendency towards being pedophiles?
Well, that's a good conversation to have.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I think statistically, if you look at it, not that there are higher percentage-wise as a group, but this is something that doesn't get discussed as often within the community, the level of abuse. So there are different statistics, right? There's, and I've actually brought this conversation up with other YouTubers, and they just refuse to address it. So I do appreciate you having this conversation here.
I'm all
so there are different statistics that show that men, who like minors specifically, they end up there's a higher level of abuse that happens, right? And for example, I think what was there was one statistic specifically that I cited that's kind of escaping my head right now, but as far as arrested and convicted pedophiles who identify as gay, they had, I think, 3 times the amount of victims. Right.
And you're willing to give a child to a couple that's more likely to molest them?
Okay, so
I mean that's kind of a broad general.
Def Noodles says that there is a higher percentage of gay men who are convicted pedophiles than are straight. I don't know. He says there's a statistic to like back this up. I don't believe that this statistic personally exists. Maybe he can let me know. Maybe he listen. Every person who speaks about Def Noodles right now ends up having a photograph of themselves warped in some derogatory way in order for him to, you know, blast that person for being gay or whatever it is. So here, Def Noodles, let me give you this. You can screen grab that and use it in your next video. But he has this thing where he wants to like be able to drag the gay community, and he does that in a way by being able to point out that gay men more predominantly have made more reports of sexual offenses that have taken place to them as minors. Whereas I would also say that straight men are completely and totally underreported and underrepresented. I know so many straight men who lost their virginity to older women at ages 12, 13, 14, and we don't for some reason the world doesn't qualify this as sexual assault or sexual abuse or things of that nature, but I would consider straight men reporting sexual offenses as considerably less than any other demographic, including the queer community, but I digress.
Generalization that you're making now, and you're like
equating
gay, 2 different things.
You say gay men are more likely
that's actually
to be
going with the
pedophiles.
assumption that you just made about gay men being pedophiles. I'm citing convicted. I'm citing people who are convicted who had that higher number. I'm not actually saying all gay men are like this.
Oh, I didn't say that.
And honestly, I cannot speak for the amount of predators and pedophiles that are in America. I'm not going to sit there and pretend that I know the demographics, but over here in the United Kingdom, especially, the majority of sexual predators, especially when it comes to sexual predation against children, is majority white male. This is why when everybody likes to bring up the Pakistani grooming gangs that are taking place in the United Kingdom, I don't deny that there are Pakistani grooming gangs, but I feel like we are focusing so heavily on the Pakistani grooming gangs when the majority of child groomers in the United Kingdom and child molesters in the United Kingdom are white men. Period. Above any demographic. Why are we not? Considering there is so much... I guess, like, so much crime, if you will, in the black and brown community. Why in the fucking hell are black and brown men not at the center of child sex offenses? Why is that a majority white thing? And these are the things it is that we really need to be having conversations about who gets underrepresented and who gets overly represented.
I mean, but that's the implication behind your question.
No, more. You're saying per capita, gay men are more likely to abuse children per capita.
I think that's as far as the convicted ones.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
convicted.
Why would you analyze? But per capita.
Well, if you look, they're also smaller set of the population, right?
But also we
And-
have
per capita, you know what that is?
But also, if we have a look at other things like the amount of sexual offenses that get documented and recorded with rape kits and all that kind of stuff in terms of what the police actually get their hands on versus the amount of actual rapists that actually get convicted, those numbers are also extremely staggering as well. So again, we're talking about what's overreported versus what's underreported.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about subset or convicted. I'm just saying as a percentage of the population, they're more likely to abuse a child.
You're stating that?
I'm asking you. Statistically, that's what you believe.
That's not what I believe. That's a fact. What you stated is a fact.
So then you believe it?
If it's a fact, yes. It's
Yeah,
something that's a fact.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're splitting hairs here. So you think it's okay to give a child to people who are more likely to abuse
I mean,
them?
you're assuming that every gay man is a pedophile.
I'm not. I'm saying it's a percentage game per capita.
Okay, but in that question, there's an assumption.
No.
Yeah, there is.
It's
that they'll likely
like
be
throwing the
placed with
dice.
a pedophile. I mean, look, let's be real for a second. If you have a suspicion that somebody's going to be a pedophile, you're not going to give them a child, right? So that's just period.
Obviously.
Now, if you're saying that there's a higher percentage of gay men,
I feel like let's just cut through the bullshit. I feel like in your perfect world, gay men would not be allowed to adopt a child. In your perfect world.
In my perfect world? I mean, like I said, as a politician, if it's the will of the people, then it's the will of the people.
I'm not talking about. I'm saying in your perfect world.
You're saying if I were just inflicting my will on the people, that
in
I
your
would
perfect world, you know what that means?
Yeah. Well, the world's imperfect. It's a fallen world.
Oh,
we live in a fallen world. I mean, I'm trying to have a conversation.
No, you're not.
Creating scenarios and hypotheticals that are unreal.
Can I just
Can I
just say I love the fact that Ethan Klein's like, no, you're not trying to have a conversation because you're relying on the fabric of how human society actually runs versus what your personal opinion is, what your moral opinion is. Because if I was to sit down and tell you what my moral opinion is, gay people could most definitely raise a child. I have numerous different families within my personal school that my kids go to who there's 2 mothers, there's 2 fathers. Like, that is so incredibly common in today's society. I don't have any doubts that 2 mothers or 2 fathers would be able to raise a very well-mannered and very well-adjusted human in society. However, that's my moral position. However, if that's the way that the world works, I would say that the world doesn't believe so. But he refuses to give what his moral position is. And can I just say, I don't like giving Ethan Klein these uncommon W's, right? But I love the fact that Ethan Klein is calling him out. That, like, you're not expressing what your personal views are. And if you can't adequately express what your personal views are, what your idealisms are for this world and this universe and for your state, how the fuck can you represent anybody in Congress? What do you actually fucking stand for?
Like loading it into like an assumption about what I'm going to say.
I'm trying.
That's really what's happening.
No, but this is, especially in like religious and conservative circles, a very normal conversation. Like, I feel like if you were having a private conversation with one of your like-minded individuals, you would not be giving the same political answers. You'd be much more straightforward about. And in your perfect world, not considering the will of the people, not considering the law, would it be okay for 2 gay guys to adopt a child? You're not answering.
Wait, but you said 3 different things in there.
In your perfect world.
So you want to go with a hypothetical?
Yeah, I mean, you're not the emperor of the world, right?
I know, I'm not the emperor of the world. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. There's no perfect world. It's a fallen world.
Bruh.
It's the nature of the world.
This is already exhausting.
It is exhausting.
What do you mean? I'm being straightforward.
I feel like anyone watching knows you're being evasive, but that's okay.
I'm not being evasive. I'm being direct with you. I am. You're creating a hypothetical to try to get me on something that isn't even based on an assumption of what you think.
As a politician, isn't it your job to work towards improving the world to your perfect world? If you're just a surrogate of the people you represent, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point then of democracy?
Well, are you not looking to enact change?
I'm a representative.
You don't
change how? Who defines what change is? I'm there to represent the people in my district. Here's the data. According to multiple peer
he doesn't want to say gay bad, even though that's what he feels. Like, it's so abundantly obvious that he doesn't want to say gay bad because that's what he actually genuinely fucking feels. I would much more respect an individual who stands in their shit of what they fucking believe, right? This is why I find it hard to have much empathy for people who voted MAGA, because in my personal opinion, you knew what in the fuck you voted for because they made it clear. Nobody needs to hold your hand through this, sweetie. You knew exactly what it was that they were attempting to do because they made it clear from the outset. I would much rather somebody make it clear from the outset and other people make bad judgment calls rather than somebody who doesn't stand for nothing because he's refusing to say what he feels.
Viewed studies and large surveys, gay and bisexual men report significantly higher rates of childhood sexual abuse than heterosexual men. In the general male population, approximately 5 to 10% of men report experiencing childhood sexual abuse. By contrast...
Oh, sorry, hold on. Abia just says, Ethan Klein is not that bitch or nothing, but he's kind of eating here. He kind of ate. He kind of dragged. And I fucking live. But can I also say that he's speaking about this whilst he's speaking about quote-unquote cowardly Adam on his main channel. So he he's speaking about how the majority of men who speak about sexual abuse tend to be queer people. But also, can we also, and when we are looking at these statistics and studies, can we also put into the equation that men who are aware of the sexual boundaries that have been crossed, who may also be queer individuals, is because they were able to identify that by being open with their own personal sexuality. Straight men, I would consider less likely to be open about sexual misconduct that has taken place towards them because they are straight. And that is just my 2 cents. And this is not backed up by any kind of study or anything of that nature. That's just my fucking 2 cents. I know a lot of straight men who have told me that they have been sexually abused, and what I would consider to be sexually abused, by women who are much older than them when they were younger. They considered it, because the world at large considered it, a triumph to have lost their virginity to an older woman. But what they experienced was sexual abuse. Period.
Studies of gay and bisexual men consistently report much higher rates. According to a 2009 study of gay and bisexual men, approximately 20% reported a history of severe childhood sexual abuse, defined as contact abuse before the age of 18. Larger surveys.
You can't react to your own clip and be like, "Yo, that guy, that's crazy." If it's true.
No, I'm remembering that this clip is from what, 7 months ago, or what is it?
3 weeks ago, brother. You're fucking you. How can we trust you to represent us when you can't?
Des just says, right message, wrong messenger. I 100% agree that Ethan Klein is totally the wrong messenger for something like this, especially considering his past history with the pedo troll stuff. But honestly, considering that nobody else would give Deaf Noodles a platform to speak his idiotic shit, I personally feel that we have to applaud the small win that is Ethan Klein not allowing this man to escape his own ideologies just by being able to say that, well, that's not what the world thinks. Like, I don't like that shit. Just say what you feel.
Yeah, they'll do 7 months and 3 weeks.
Well, because the initial video I made was 7 months ago, and then I made a follow-up 3 weeks ago.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this conversation's been going on for a while, but this data is not shocking. You don't hear this stuff, and you're not like, oh my God, this is crazy. You're not.
Well, so
really?
There's 2 things. I haven't looked at the study, right? Because obviously a lot of studies are influenced one way or the other. Mm-hmm. But just operating on the assumption that it's true, that gay children are more likely to be victims, that it's very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
And I think
it's probably, well, so why do you think that is?
Why do I think it's sad?
No, bro, stop. Why do you think gay children are more likely to be abused?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
Let's see if you have an opinion.
Analysis, including data referenced by the CDC's National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey, show that childhood sexual abuse rates among gay and bisexual men are roughly 2 to 5 times higher than among heterosexual men. To put that into concrete terms, folks, heterosexual men report childhood sexual abuse at around 5 to 10%, while gay and bisexual men report rates commonly ranging between 20 to 40%, with some studies reaching as high as approximately 46% in specific clinical or community samples. And that raises a question that is almost never.
And here's the other question I think that, like, literally nobody asks. If a straight individual gets sexually abused by an adult woman who is much older than they are, because this is something that I've seen, this is something that my friends have spoken to me about, and all this kind of stuff, right? If a straight man, right, who was a child who was experiencing sexual assault, there's so many different issues that come along with that, right? A young boy being, quote unquote, and sorry, this is like trigger warning for other people because this is dark, right? But young boys who are, like sexually aroused. Well, if I was sexually aroused, then I must have enjoyed it, then I must have liked it, then this must have been okay. Meaning that these kind of demographics are completely skewed, especially when you have gay men who are like, okay, I'm understanding my own personal sexuality and I feel comfortable to come out and tell people who I am. But also this thing also happened to me because I personally believe that gay men are more easier. It's easier for them to acknowledge the sexual abuse that has taken place for them because they were able to understand their sexuality a lot easier because Maybe the sexual abuse it was that they experienced, they didn't enjoy, they didn't like, it didn't feel good. Whereas with, straight men, it might not be the same for them because they have a completely different experience, and that is okay. But I also think that straight men's sexual abuse is underreported. Let me say this again. Straight men, sexual abuse is completely and totally underreported.
Allowed to be asked, who is abusing these boys? And why is this pattern treated as untouchable? According to research,
Okay, hold on. Moldy just says, I feel like Ethan Klein is trying to keep his hands on the wheel when he's trying to defend himself as a non-offender because he's positioned himself to be defending gay men, except the famous ones that might threaten his image. That's an interesting take. And I don't 100% disagree with that at all. I think that if it wasn't an easy person to dunk on, such as James Charles, where we can kind of all publicly and openly call this man a predator, would it be as easy for Ethan Klein to have this personal stance? That's the question. But I understand where you're driving at with that. Abia says, society and men tell boys that they should be enjoying it when they get assaulted by an older woman. And if assaulted by a man, they'll be considered gay. Clock it, 100%.
Answer your own question.
Yeah, my whole point, and that's why I brought that up, and it's funny that you brought up James Charles as well, because it ties into that. Because my whole point with these videos, it's not to indict the gay community. It's actually to say, hey, this is happening in your community, but a lot of your predators are just going around like James Charles, right? People who literally confess to this kind of stuff, and there's zero consequences.
What does that have to? But you're talking about like statistically, gay men are more likely.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the data
to have been abused and also to abuse.
I'm bringing up the data because it's a conversation that, for some reason, is a taboo. You're not allowed to have it.
We're having it right now, but you're the one.
He didn't want to have.
You're the one cowardly not telling your opinion, and I'm trying to have that.
My opinion is right there. My opinion is that this is awful. This shouldn't be happening, and we have to bring attention to it.
So your stance is you want to protect gay children.
I want to protect children. Period. I want to protect people. I want to protect victims, not just children. They're also, the people who are victims of rape, victims of every sort of crime. I mean, there are people that are being victimized by our county right now. Like today, when I was leaving my office, there were 2 people smoking crack a block away from a school, like right outside the door of my office. Those are people that are being first of all, they're probably going to be arrested because you can't do that a block away from a school. And second, these are people that are being victimized.
You can't do that anywhere, technically.
Yeah, but they really only enforce it around a school.
Yeah.
Those are people that have been victimized and just fell through the cracks, right? They've been victimized by the system. So
why do you think that gay men or gay children are more likely to be abused? Because you bring it up like it's something that needs to be analyzed.
Research cited by Psychiatry Online, a study of 377 non-incarcerated pedophiles found that offenders classified as homosexual pedophiles, meaning they preferred male children, young boys, reported abusing an average of 150 children each, compared to an average of 20 victims among heterosexual pedophiles. That's also awful, by the way. The heterosexual numbers are also awful.
Yeah, but the emphasis is that gay dudes do it more.
Yeah, because there's no conversation around it.
Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, well, we're having it now.
But it's not a conversation just to cite the statistics. Why do we cite the statistics? What is the overall point that you're driving? What do we extrapolate? You do studies and you get statistics so you can extrapolate meaning from it.
Yeah.
So what's the extrapolation?
The extrapolation is, why is Bryan Singer not in prison? Why is James Charles not in prison? Why are these guys who are powerful gay men and influential?
It doesn't matter whether it's a gay man or a straight man. What we're talking about is people with power, right? That's what the actual conversation is about. It's about people with power. Why is Trey Songz not in prison? Why is Trey Songz not in prison? Why is the guy who runs Baddies and all of those shows, Zeus Network, I think his name is Lamar, where loads of different people have described having, incredibly bad sexual encounters or being, been told, allegedly, according to these individuals, that their career won't grow if they don't, sexually comply and all of that kind of stuff. Why is he not in jail? We're talking about individuals with power. It is a completely different ballpark when you're talking about power. Power doesn't matter whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether what. What about Usher? Usher's been giving herpes to how many fucking people? Allegedly, for my legal basis. But allegedly been giving herpes to everyone. Why the fuck? Without disclosing, which, by the way, is a crime, yeah? Allegedly, by the way, which is a crime. So why on earth are all of these individuals who have power not facing the judicial system? It's because they have power. It's a different situation altogether. Then we need to start addressing why men in power are able to get away with a lot more than the average Joe Schmo. And that's the conversation it is that we need to start having. But trying to say that it's a particular demographic is then when you create this them versus us, when the reality of the situation is if we actually look at the overall data about the people who have been accused of sexual offenses, straight white men outrank them all, period.
You know, in our
So you think
town
gay dudes
specifically.
gay pedophiles are getting a pass?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That's the point in that conversation. There's no conversation around it, right? It took 7 months. The first video I made.
Listen, James Charles, and you guys know I always have something to say about James Charles, but James Charles is able to get away with whatever it is that he's allegedly been able to get away with because he's a powerful young man. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he's gay. Nothing to do with the fact that he's gay. Nothing. The only thing that I would say where his gayness kind of comes into the correlation is the alleged coercion of young men who may not be sure of their own sexuality into sexual things with him. That's the only thing that I could potentially say, yeah, maybe his gayness comes into the equation. But under any other circumstances, especially when it comes to the young men it is that he's been involved with, gayness has nothing to do with it. Gayness had nothing to do with it with Kevin Spacey either. It has nothing to do with it.
Made responding to Adam was 7 months ago. This was 3 weeks ago because it took him 7 months to respond, and now we're talking about it here. So it'll force this conversation, even further, which I appreciate. Again, and by the way, I do want to cite this. This isn't to just say that all gay men are pedophiles. That's not the point in this conversation. It's just to bring light
That's what it feels
how big
like.
the issue is and how it goes unaddressed because there's a concerted effort to protect this class of people.
Why is that?
Because they're very powerful.
The gays?
Yeah, gay men in Hollywood are very powerful. Like Bryan Singer's powerful, right?
I mean, no, he's disgraced now. He's definitely disgraced now. He's not powerful now.
James Charles?
James Charles is not powerful. I mean, again, also disgraced.
I mean, you were just talking about Shane Dawson, too, earlier.
Also disgraced.
I mean, but they're still going around. They're not in prison. They're not seeing consequences, and they're being allowed to continue using their platforms and make big videos, make money. So, they're obviously, there's several other people who have, not to draw an equivalence here, but there's several. If they were straight, they would have likely lost everything.
I think the occurrence of abuse is probably consistent among men predators. I think the only difference is, for example, gay men who are pedophiles have more.
Oh, so Ducky Momo says, Ethan is stupid. James isn't powerful. Wrong. Yeah, no, he's most definitely powerful. I disagree with that. The Epstein files are going to blow his mind.
Access, right? Because they're going to be around.
That's true. They do. Because bathrooms. That's a fair point. Because of that access, that means it's even more dangerous. The fact that we don't talk about it because there's no preventative.
What do you want to do? I don't understand. You want to talk about it. You don't want to say anything.
What do you mean?
What do you want to do? We're talking about it. What do we do?
We're talking. This is great. We're bringing up now scenarios in the ways. What do we do? I mean, we hold people accountable. We do what you're doing, which is putting your money out there to educate people that this guy is walking around. This guy who confessed to 2 separate cases, right? As young as 14, trying to fly out a 14-year-old. This guy shouldn't be platformed.
Well, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is pretty much his conversation about gay men being predators on his appearance on the H3 show. Obviously, this was clipped, so we're not getting the full conversation. The full conversation was a lot longer. I remember it because I watched it. However, that should just give you an overall look. Thank you so much for the follow. That should give you an overall look as to what really took place there. So, in terms of Deaf Noodles, right? I personally think that Deaf Noodle. Oh my God, my camera is just turned off. Hold on. Give me a second. Sorry, it might have overheated because I've got my heater on and it's kind of cold here. But in terms of Deaf Noodles, hello! In terms of Deaf Noodles, I personally think that Def Noodles is saying what he doesn't want to be said, right? Which is that I personally believe, and this is just my personal disposition, not something that is that Def Noodles is actually said. I personally believe that Def Noodles thinks that gay men are a huge problem within society. And I think that he thinks that... yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Def Noodles believes that gay men are an issue within society that is underrepresented and under-discussed. Whether I believe that or not is a completely different conversation altogether. I don't. Truly, I think that regardless of whether somebody is gay or straight, I think that predators as a discussion in general needs to be something that is a conversation that is had. But I think that we are misconstruing gay men with power versus gay men without power. And that is just how I personally view this whole situation. So that is what's been going on with Def Noodles. So this evening, we have spoken about Gabby Hanna, we have spoken about Colleen Ballinger, we have also spoken about Def Noodles. At this point in the evening, it is now up to you guys to tell me what it is that you want the last video to be. I will ask that we keep these videos under an hour because I do not want to be spending all night here in the studio. I do want to eventually go home. But if you guys have anything it is that you guys would like me to look at, review, tell me in the comments right now if there is any kind of video it is that you guys would like me to watch, and we will go through and we will watch that as well. I'm allowing you guys to have the floor and to have the space to be able to tell me what it is that you guys would like me to take a look at to get my real, raw, and honest opinion. But beyond all of that, whilst you guys are figuring out what it is that you guys want to tell me to watch this evening, what are your guys' thoughts on us doing this stream once a week on a Friday or Saturday? How are you guys feeling about it? Rosanna and Olivia Pod, has the first episode of the podcast come out yet, or are we just looking at what Adam McIntyre has said? Commentary YouTube retrospective. What do you mean by that, Moldy? Explain, elaborate. I also have a bunch of different sounds it is that I put out there. One sec. Which one haven't I showed you guys today?
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I haven't used that one tonight. I have not used that one tonight. We also have... No, I think that's it. I think that's the only sound we haven't used tonight.
Say,
hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. I'm so up for it. Oh, I'm glad because I want to do this once a week because I don't want to sit down and commit 2 times a week when I truly can't do it. So once a week I can definitely do. Olivia, Rosanna and Olivia. Okay, we've had 2 people say it, Rosanna and Olivia now. So let's take a quick look. What has been going on with Rosanna? You guys know I don't like Rosanna Pansino, bro. Olivia. And let me tell you, I have... Okay. Without saying too much, because I don't want to say too much, but I do want to let you guys know. Something is happening with Rosanna Pansino. Something is happening. And I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know what it's going to be said. But all I'm going to say is keep your eyes open. And I'm saying this to you, the 359 people who are here tonight. I'm going to say this to you. Something's coming. Something is coming. I feel it in my soul. It is a sixth sense. And like I usually say, I can't say no more. I promised I would not. But something's coming. Something's coming. It's going to gag and goop you all. That's all I have to say. Girl, I don't think you're watching YouTube chat. You've had 3 super chats. No fucking way. I've had 3 super chats on YouTube. I apologize. Hold up. I've put it on the multi-stream so I can read everyone's chats, but I can't see it. What are the super chats on YouTube? Oh my God, I am so sorry. Hold on, let me see if I can find out. Where do I find the fucking super chats here, bro? I had no idea I had super chats. I apologize. I'm still getting used to this, so I apologize. I'm going to try and figure it out. Hold on. Let me see if I can click on the actual live video. Wait, live. Why can't I see the video? Oh my God. Okay. I need to find actual live. Oh, okay. That's me. Where is the super chats? Okay. There's a super chat here. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Paige, I've been a fan since your Jackie Ina video. I'm so proud of how far you've come on your YouTube journey. Your babies are so precious. Thank you so much. Oh my God. $4.99 for the super chat. I really appreciate it. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Let me see if I can find out more information. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't. I'm so shit. Thank you so much. Yes, I miss your stream so much by Coco. Thank you so much. You Parky, thank you so much as well for the $4.99. And we've got one more, but I can't see it. I can't see it, but whoever you are, I thank you so much. I'm going to figure this out. I'm literally still learning as I go along, but I fucking love you guys so much. Oh my God. I can't believe I had super chats and I fucking missed it. I'm so sorry. I am so incredibly sorry. Okay. So let's go back to the chat. I hadn't heard anything. I love your vids page. Thank you so much. Your videos always uplift me at times when I need it. And also having me talk to the TV screen as I clean or working on the project. Thank you so much, baby G. I really appreciate it. Okay, so hello muckers. Hello. Welcome. Okay, so I think we're gonna take a quick look at Adam McIntyre's video to do with Rosanna Pansino. I feel like that's what everyone wants me to take a look at. So there was 2 videos. I know he did one on his vlog channel. So let's see if we can search Adam McIntyre. I'm pretty sure he might have had like a main channel video to do with Rosanna Pansino. He hasn't. So it was on his second channel. Is that the video that you guys want me to watch? Put a 1 in the chat if that's the one you want me to watch, the one that's on his second channel, not his main channel. Put a 1 in the chat if that's something that you want me to see, want me to look at. And we'll take a look at it. Before we go, have you seen his IG stories from a day or 2 ago? He's pissed and plans to talk on stuff this week. I did. I literally posted it on my own Discord because I was like, I'm in the Adam McIntyre group chat on Instagram. And I was kind of gagged and gooped. Also, let me see if I can read what it is that he said to you guys because I definitely posted about it. Oh God, we have chatted a lot on Discord. Hold on. If you guys aren't subscribed to Discord, can somebody put a link to Discord in chat? Here we go. So this is what he said. I just unfollowed Rosanna and her partner. In fact, let me save the image and post it to Google Drive to see if you guys can see it. Hold on. New file upload image. Okay, hold on. So hopefully you guys can see this. So this is what Adam McIntyre put on Mucker Nation a couple of days ago. It says, I just unfollowed Rosanna and her partner. Don't dare disrespect me. Fuck you both. We're done. Rosanna Pansino is now an enemy. I love you, muckers. Fuck her. And fuck you too, Olivia. So, something is happening. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Rosanna Pansino and Olivia are doing the Ridiculous podcast. Ridiculous. Let me see if I can find the Ridiculous podcast. Let me see. Olivia, maybe? Here you are, the Ridiculous podcast. This is the new look, guys. This is the new look. It's Rosanna Pansino and Olivia. And they are the new hosts of the Ridiculous podcast. Personally speaking, I think this is a great move for Olivia. It gives her more chance to shine and a bigger place to be seen. However, in terms of friendship with Adam McIntyre, I knew this was going to go bad. Can I just say the mic they have is the same mic I have here? This is like my mic. It's a Shure MV1 or MV2 or something. I can't remember. It's the brand new Shure mic, but I fucking live for this mic. But yeah, it's a mess. Right, okay, so are we taking a look at what Adam McIntyre said? So there was this one from 6 days ago, but he also... One sec. Rosanna on a ridiculous podcast. Okay. There's this one from 6 days ago, but he also made another video on his second channel. So let's just take a look at this one. I think I've seen it already.
Hello, muckers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So first things first, I just want to do a little PSA for this video, which is I know that a lot of people are going to take this video in the wrong way. I know a lot of people are going to misinterpret what I'm saying. I know a lot of people are going to try.
One sec, you Parky just said one more thing. Miss Rosanna has always rubbed me the wrong way. She was good friends with Miss Ukulele. Also, what lipstick are you wearing? I am currently wearing... I've got my makeup bag here so I can show you guys. So the lip liner I am using is Scorpio by Juvia's Place. The lipstick area, the pink part, I am using Pink Passion, which is a blush, a cream blush by Juvia's Place. I put that in the center of my lips. And for my lip gloss, I am currently using a high street brand, Gloss Me Up by Collection. And it is in color... Do we have a color? It doesn't say what color it is, but it is the Gloss Me Up one. Oh, I dropped it. But it is the Gloss Me Up one by Collection, which you can find in Superdrug. So that is what I am wearing as my lip combo this evening. But I brought it because I know you guys always ask me what my lip combo is, so I brought it. How did Olivia meet Rosanna Pansino? Girl. Oh, the things I wish I could fucking tell you guys right now because I've been sworn to secrecy. But... something's coming, guys. Something's coming.
Make this a bigger deal than what I'm trying to do here, because I just want to talk about something that is currently being talked about on my Discord a lot.
I just want to say that when you guys eventually find out how Rosanna Pansino and Olivia actually came together, I just want to be ready to do this. I told you so. Just remember, I want you to come back to this fucking video and be like, bitch, Paige, you told us so. Something is fucking up. And that is all I'm saying. Because I've been sworn to secrecy.
It's in all of my YouTube comments. Everyone's tagging me in it. And a lot of people were thinking because I hadn't said anything about it, that I was like hiding from it or whatever. So I just want to make it clear that I really like Rosanna. Like, I really, really, really like Rosanna Pansino. I would refer to her as a friend. And she has been so great to me. She has been so great to me. Her and her partner,
Can
Mike,
I just say,
have been absolutely amazing to me.
Before I
and
play the I Told You So track again, because I feel like you've heard it too many times this evening. But remember in my old Rosanna Pansino videos, I said, Adam McIntyre, that is not your friend. Do you guys remember? In chat, clock it and tell me right now if you remember when I said, Adam McIntyre, that is not your fucking friend. And I've said this to Adam in the past, even in private. I said, do not believe anything that anybody says in this industry, including me. Including me, because these bitches out here, it is the Wild West in commentary. People are so fucked. People will fuck you in ways that you would never expect them to fuck you. Do not trust nobody, including me. Including me. Shall I tell you? In fact, no, I can't. I'm talking too much.
The industry, if you will, they have been the people that have like really taken care of me the most. Whether they know it or not, they have been unbelievably kind to me and unbelievably great to me. They also have been unbelievably great and kind to my mum. Whenever I filmed with Rosanna a couple months ago for her podcast, which we're going to be talking about today, my mum was there and they were so kind to her as well. And they're just very welcoming, great people. Last year with VidCon, they were able to get me a full access pass so that I could come to VidCon. Like they didn't have to do that. And also they have offered amazing advice to me behind the scenes, and they've been really constructive and they've been really great. And you know, the interactions that I had with specifically Rosanna started during the Colleen time, and it kind of wasn't great. Like we kind of butted heads a lot. But she was someone that taught me that, like, if you speak...
Swoop is amazing. And can I just tell you that Swoop is one of the many reasons that I decided to get my teeth done. I don't know if you guys had noticed, but the gap is gone. Let me show you real close. But Swoop is one of the many reasons I got my teeth done. And I live for it now. I live for it now. I understand. Sometimes people look at you and view you different when you have new teeth. I get it.
Speak to someone and you know, get to hear their point of view or where they were at in the moment. Like, it adds a lot of context. And that's why I refer to her as a friend now. I also can understand as well that I am new to this and, like, the industry at large. And I'm aware that, like, industry connections and work will ultimately always be more important than, you know, I guess, like, connections one-on-one. I'm not null to that. And I also like to think that I don't think of myself too highly or being, like, too important in people's lives. And I don't mean that in, like, a depressing way or anything like that. I truly just mean that in, like, I know my place, and I will never make a decision or a thought on something based on, like, thinking of myself as so important or so, you know. And I think a lot of that was being, like, humbled a lot on the internet, which, for better or for worse, taught me things. So I'm in Japan right now, and if you don't know, I am vlogging every single day. My channel will be linked down below. We're getting so close to 100K over there. Thank you so much, by the way. So I have been on my phone a lot less when it comes to main channel stuff. And by the way, I'm aware that Gabby did a podcast where she, like, name drops me. Don't you worry, I'm excited to watch it. And yesterday and the day before, my...
One sec, hold on. Sammy just says, so a YouTuber said that she gets fake vibes from Swoop. I immediately unsubbed from that YouTuber. My only encounters of Swoop has only ever been positive. I promise you that. I can't say I know Swoop as an individual or anything like that, but whenever I've spoken to her, she is just the kindest, sweetest person. So I can't speak for other people, but I can speak from my own experience. Swoop seems like such a sweet girl. Such a sweet girl.
My phone was going off like crazy. And my mom calls me and she's like, have you seen? And I'm like, no. I'm like, God, what now? And I go on and I see that Rosanna has announced a podcast with Olivia from H3. And all of the comments on the post are like AB, Lana, Ela, Ethan, like Ela commenting on all of Rosanna's stuff, being like, that's my girl, and all these different things. And all of the comments on Rosanna's page now are all welcome to the family, referring to H3.
So do you think that it's a situation where Rosanna Pansino may be aligning herself with the H3 community? Is this what we're gearing at? Like, tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section, and we'll read out a couple.
And the reason I feel some type of way about it is because, again, I understand the industry, but, like, I've had so many conversations with Ro about how H3 have treated me. I mean, H3 have, like, threatened they wanted to strangle me live on air. They've called me, like, every slur under the earth, you know what I mean? They've relentlessly harassed me. They've accused me of being a predator towards Ethan's mother and then had to walk back on that. And just, like, years worth of harassment and abuse, in my opinion, from what they've done to me. And I'm sure they would argue as well that, oh, I'm the worst in the world. Listen, they can do what they want, but, like, at least over here, you guys have seen what they have subjected me and plenty other people to. Plenty other people. Specifically women, by the way, which is so crazy to me now. If,
wait,
like,
hold
Rosanna
on,
is,
hold on. Ducky Momo just said they called, fans called ICE on him when he was in the US. Did that actually fucking happen? Am I actually that far behind on like Ethan Klein and H3 drama? Because I've made a concerted effort to no longer speak about H3 and the fans. I just feel like they're just gonna like, I feel like it's futile. Like, nothing's gonna change, so I might as well just leave it alone, right? But I had no idea that happened. Yup. They reported him to ICE. No way. It happened. Shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking lying. I'm gagged. That's fucking evil. That is pure evil.
Like, trying to pivot towards like the H3 audience or
I'm
whatever, because
shook.
like whether they want to admit it or not, they're not a very, in my opinion, at least right now with all the lawsuits and the continuous coming after the Frogans and the Denims and the Casey Trons of the world. I wouldn't say they're the most like uplifting of women podcast right now, just in my personal opinion, which feels a little bit weird. But also, I'm just like, damn. At VidCon last year, me, and I don't want to name drop any other people, but there was a couple people who have been subjected to attacks from the H3 show, right? They've been content and been harassed by them. And we all had an open conversation, and Ro was there as well, about what they do to us and what they use their platform for, and the impact, whether H3 know it or not, has on us, and they continue to do it. So, yeah, when I load up my Instagram, and I'm getting tagged by all these muckers being like,
one sec, hold on. Filthy just says, H3 fans sent ice to Adam when he was in the US touring. Ducky Momo said this was months ago. I think Ethan spoke about it on the show before. He countered it with the fact that apparently people had called ice on him. Wow. Ice about love. Oh. Doesn't make it okay though. Like, what the fuck?
Like, uh-oh, I don't know if you want to see this. You know, go and look at the comments. It's all the H3 people. You know, I guess that's, you know, where Rosanna's taking her audience. And I was like, oh shit. And again, if I had never, ever had any conversations about this with her, I would have been like, okay, it's industry or whatever. But I'm like, so anyways, here it is. So it's her existing podcast, the Ridiculous podcast. Oh, there I am. See, I went on there. I had a great time. Beautiful studio. I really like Ro. Again, do not misconstrue what I'm saying at all. I really like Ro. And I really like
Let me just make it clear that the post it is that Adam made where he was like, you know, fuck Ro, I just unfollowed them and their partner, don't dare disrespect me, fuck you both, we're done, Rosanna Pansino is now an enemy, I love you muckers, fuck her, and fuck you too, Olivia. This was before this. I just want to make it abundantly clear.
I really like both of them. And again, they've been so kind to me, and these dogs are the cutest in the world. I just am like, feel like I'm in this really like weird position where like me and you have platformed and like really made like Ro and stuff like that like an integral part of like our community and talking about her and stuff like that.
Okay, side note, Olivia's so fucking pretty. She is such a pretty girl. I wish she was a girl's girl. But she is such a pretty girl. Like, she's so undeniably pretty. My goodness.
And then now that community is completely just going to be H3 people. Like, welcome to the family, welcome to the family. And one of the reasons that I really wanted to talk about this is because I'm already getting fucking harassment from H3 people being like, the rat loses in the end. Like, we're stealing your friend's rat. And I'm like, okay, great. So, like, whether people know it or not, like, the knock-on effect that, like, decisions or like platforming people or whatever has on people that they know in their day-to-day life. And again, I'm aware that people don't give a fuck. I'm aware that it's industry. I'm learning that. I'm new. I get myself in a lot of trouble. I get myself caught up in things. I really am learning as I go. And also keep in mind, everyone that I'm dealing with has been doing this 10 plus years longer than me, and I'm just trying to like navigate it or whatever. So when it comes to Olivia, you know, I would have called Olivia a good friend. I really would have called Olivia a good friend. We hang out in WeHo, blah, 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 whatever. And Olivia, do not get it misconstrued as well, is a really talented woman. She's really talented at what she does. And I will always say that. I will always say that. And my issues with Olivia, as to why I had to distance myself from Olivia whenever I was like, hey, like, I just can't be associated with Olivia anymore, was because Olivia sat at her workplace every day while her boss was harassing me and said nothing. Now, not am I expecting her to defend me or at least stop her boss or whatever, because I understand that there's workplace dynamic, right? And I understand that there's a power imbalance with Ethan. What I really got upset by was the fact that I defended Olivia and stood by her even when her workplace was doing all this to me. And at the end of the day, the only person that got internet backlash and harassment from it was me, with people then making fun of me for not dropping Olivia. And for me, for, oh my god, Olivia dog walks you, like blah, 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 whatever like that, like H3 owns you, Olivia owns you, and all like this. And it was just this, another example of me like literally taking the fall for someone. And that truly, to this day, has been my issue with Olivia. Now, Olivia ended up taking like a mental health break from the H3 show, right? And there was chatter behind the scenes. And let me tell you something as well. A lot of people will just like randomly call me and like be like, hey, this is happening, by the way, or this is what this person is doing right now, or whatever like that. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's false. And another thing that I've understood as well is that a lot of people do those things to influence what you say publicly, which is why I'll normally kind of just not say anything. But anyways, Olivia had announced that she was taking a mental health break from the H3 show. And I was under the impression that Olivia was done with H3. Like, that Olivia was point blank period done. That they were saying that it was, you know, walking away or on a mental health, but that was her done. That was the impression that I was under, right? And then, like last week, Olivia pops up on H3 again to do a segment the week before this impending Rosanna announcement. So like, I'm like, this is so interesting to me because like,
look,
really, you know, this
hold
is
on. Laura Elijah says, even if Olivia didn't want to speak against the boss, it was for the best that Adam ended their friendship. I've learned the hard way that sometimes people aren't your aren't your people when you want them to be. This is the thing. I saw somebody in the comments earlier. I can't remember your name, so forgive me for that. But they were just like, oh, well, Olivia is a girl's. Yeah, I mean, speaking up, the initial speak up is different to actually standing your ground, right? So there's a difference between somebody actually saying, like, I don't know, Black Lives Matter and actually willing to, like, you know, put themselves on the line for other Black lives. Two completely different things, right? You can feign, I guess, the ability to, you know, stand up for something, but if you don't stand on it, it doesn't really mean anything. And that's what I feel with Olivia. She says the things, but she doesn't actually put those things into practice. Like, you've got to be willing to be disliked and hated and have a lot of people be upset with you to stand in your convictions and your beliefs. And I don't think that Olivia's that girl, which is fine, but let's not pretend that she's that girl.
Podcast, the Ridiculous podcast. This is her podcast. But then she's rebranding the season 2 for it to be a joint podcast, I guess. But like all the H3 people, I guess, knew that this was coming. Like, is this a collaborative thing or like? And again, I want to say that like I think that this is going to be good for them. Like, congratulations to both of them or whatever. I'm just being a little bit blindsided as to I feel that like I opened up to someone and this was happening.
Linotio, I don't know how to pronounce your last saying. Are you saying this is performative? I'm not saying it's performative, but I think that there's a difference between somebody who says something and somebody who stands in their convictions, right? Like, when Adam McIntyre says something, I also believe that Adam McIntyre would stand 10 toes behind what it is that he's saying. Whether it upset his audience, whether it upset the people around him, whether that would exclude him from opportunities or anything like that, I think he would still stand on 10. And some people do not have that ability. And there's nothing wrong with that, but those people, for me, don't stand in their shit. It's not necessarily that it's performative. They might still feel that way. So when Olivia is acting like a girl's girl and is saying, you know, like the reason that she left the H3 podcast because she was standing up for that particular person who was on Love Island USA, right? So she was standing up for that person and felt that everybody got it misconstrued and it upset her feelings, and she decided to leave for her own mental health. But is she willing to stand on that to a point of not associating with the H3 podcast because of that? No, because we now know that a couple of months later she comes back, not only to say her final goodbye, but also to, you know, promote and let everybody know that she's going on this ridiculous podcast. That's what I mean about not standing on anything. If I say something and I'm standing 10 behind it, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck about what another subscriber thinks. I don't give a fuck about what the world thinks at large. I'm standing on that. And if I'm not standing on that, that means I'm not 100% secure on it, you know? And there's nothing wrong with not being 100% secure on something. There's stuff that I've stood on and I've like, maybe I am a bit wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's human nature. But for Olivia, there has been countless different situations where she doesn't stand on the things it is that she says. And that's just a personality quirk of hers. Some people, it's like the friend who will be like, yeah, we'll hang out. And then next thing you know, you plan something and they drop out last minute. It's a personality quirk. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't mean that they didn't have intentions of hanging out with you. It just means that they're flaky. And some people are.
Behind the scenes. And again, that is okay. That is okay. That is business. That is how these things work. Is it shitty? Yeah. It's a little bit shitty, if I'm being honest. And the only person at the end of the day that's getting fucking backlash for this is me. She announced this, and then I'd find out that this had been announced because all the H3 people are coming to dog on me, to make fun of me. So I'm like, okay, great. So, we get it, you have a huge penis. Ooh. Ooh. Little ooh at the end there. Okay, we're in a big city. Like, how loud do you have to be revving for me to hear it? Like, from up here. I'm on, like, a top floor. Whatever. I'm just like, that's why I wanted to make this video. And that's why I specifically, I'm reiterating that I like Ro. I really like Ro. And I still associate Ro as being a friend.
Okay, so we get his opinion. Pepper just says it's really great that he's always willing to talk through his process as he grows, even when he's wrong, 100%. And this is one of the things that I love about Adam McIntyre. I think that he probably is one of the purest of souls within this community, if I'm perfectly honest. So Adam McIntyre on his More Adam McIntyre channel, if I am not mistaken, More Adam McIntyre made a video where he spoke about his thoughts on the community, but he noted Rosanna Pansino as well as
and stuff like that. And but it's really beautiful.
Okay, there you go. So I think he goes and sits down and talks about
a
it
little
now.
dog like running after it, chasing the moment, and I was like, it's just so like being ironic that like on the day that I posted this vlog where I'm like talking about how, you know, great, you know, our friendship is and how blah 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 whatever, that like she was like secretly working on this like H3 Olivia crossover. And I've been talking with a lot of people today about it, and a lot of people within the industry have been giving me like a lot of information, if you will, on how this came about and why this came about, and I just honestly find it really snaky. I really do. And I think as well,
I'm not saying anything. I did not say a word. I did not say a word. But I did not say a word, but
that's suspicious. That's weird.
I'm not saying a word. I did not say a word. You guys made your own conclusions.
that me being here and like touching grass and like living a life that is not solely just like in my filming room, like streaming or whatever, I think is probably the best thing time-wise for me right now. Because I was talking to my mom and I was like, if I was back in Brighton right now and at my filming room, like I would be on a live stream and I would be like really angry and, you know, very all
Can I just say, I love Adam McIntyre's mum. She's such a doll.
consuming, and I would probably be saying things that I regret. And I'm aware that like you may enjoy that, but like for me, that would not be great. And like when this broke, you know, this stupid podcast, and I found out about it from...
Just to remind you, the actual name of this vlog is that he made is called Discussing Rosanna Pansino's Swoop and the Industry. Just so you're aware of like why I'm like, Okay.
all of you guys, and I was like blindsided about it. I was like so annoyed because I just felt like I had like in a way been like betrayed by someone within like the industry. But again, I'm realizing that the industry is fake as fuck.
It is.
You know? Just because you hang out with someone, just because you collab with someone doesn't mean that they're a real person, or doesn't mean that they care about you,
100%.
or that they wouldn't put an opportunity above a friendship. And I feel like I can talk about it a little bit more here because it's not on my main channel, which means that like it's not going to blow up into like a big thing or whatever. But I was going through my texts with like Rosanna and her partner, and like there's moments where like one of them have like acknowledged that like they're going through things right now. This was like months ago. They're going through things, and they see what's happening with me and Ethan, and they know that I'm gonna be okay though. And I'm like, who would like knowingly do that to someone that they call a friend, which is like pretend to hear them out, pretend to care about them being harassed and all these different things, and then essentially be in the pocket of those people? That's fucking snaky, dude.
Bro.
That really is fucking snaky.
Bro, I said,
And again,
I literally said months ago, these people are not your fucking friends. Literally about a year ago, I was like, these people, like, I'm going to say October last year, maybe October the year before. October the year before, let's say October 2024, I said, Adam McIntyre, these people are not your friend. Don't trust anyone, including me. Do not trust anyone. If there's anything that I could say in the 9 years that I've been doing this, bitch, 8-9 years, do not trust a fucking person, because everybody will stab you in the fucking throat if it means that they move on and they move up.
I was annoyed when this dropped because I was like, oh, I feel like I've been lied to or blindsided or whatever. And then when I talked to certain other people within the industry about it, and they have their opinions and they've been told things or they haven't been told things, I'm like, huh. I'm like, you really gotta know that your dynamic with people within this space is not like a friendship, you know? And again, I said this in my video, but like, I feel like I'm very new to this and I'm understanding it. I always get a little bit disappointed in myself because I feel that like I was able to walk away from the Colleen of it all and like acknowledge different things about like friendships and like, you know, the industry and stuff like that, and that would never happen to me again. And I feel like it's happened to me again. Yeah. Not anything.
And this is the thing.
Colleen. I just mean in terms of like,
and this
being like, oh, I feel.
No, I understand what he means. He's not talking about like Colleen and the things that he's talking about. He's talking about how, you know, trusting somebody and expecting a certain level of loyalty from somebody and not receiving that loyalty. That is such a completely human reaction. Girl, even as far as like, you know, obviously you guys know I'm not friends with Dustin, I'm not friends with Nick Snyder or whatever. And even as far as like stuff like that, like I would have never thought that I found myself yet again in a situation that I was around people that didn't really have me in the way that I thought. I thought I had loyalty. I thought I had good friends. I thought that I had people who were really to really fuck with me and rock with me, but it was conditional. It was only if X, Y, Z. And even as an adult in her 30s who has been here for a long time, I even fell into the pitfall of being like, these people have me, but they didn't. Because when it really came down to counting on somebody, they were nowhere to be seen. I thought we were trauma bonded over some horrible shit that had happened to us. And I thought because of that, we were solid. It was never going to change. But it's not the case. So even as an adult in her 30s, I found myself in that exact same situation. So don't be so hard on yourself, Adam.
Used, or I feel like I was only here to be a part of something. You know what I mean? That aspect only is what I mean. That aspect is what, like someone not being a real friend or like using you in some way.
Pop says, wait, she's not friends with Nick and Dustin anymore. We have not been friends for over a year. I have not spoken to them since 2024. So we are not friends. We've not been friends for a while, baby.
Or just like industry, you know? That's what I mean by that context. I'm like, damn, I feel like I walked into that again. I feel like I walked into like within this like space believing that like something was more real than what it was. And again, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like continuously like allow myself to be put in these positions. And I think that there's also like an element as well of like, I really care about people. Like I really do care about people. And the people that I think that are in my life that I think care about me, like I will defend them and I will care for them and I will whatever.
Oh, bitch, you want to hear the worst one? I'm not friends with Margot. She was a bridesmaid at my wedding, bitch. I'm not friends with Margot. I'm not friends with any of them. I'm a solo dolo over here, just doing her own thing. And it's working, so it's all good.
And it's just crazy to me when I was watching my clip yesterday of me from 3 days ago being like, I love Ro's been great to me, blah, 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 whatever. And I didn't know that the next day, this podcast announcement would drop, and Ethan and Eli and AB and Lana and Olivia would all be in her comments being like, welcome to the family, we love you, that's our girl, whatever. I'm like, fuck. That is so fucking...
Vendor's pet pig. I know this is not what the conversation is about, but I'm just going to address it now. Political differences, stuff that I couldn't move past. Everybody voted for MAGA. It was the end for me, so...
Snaky. that is so fucking snaky. Now, Rosanna did text me. I don't want to read her text, obviously, but it was along the lines of, like, I hope one day we can be in a better place. And I'm like, I said whenever I started doing this that I didn't want to be connected to anyone. I didn't want to be anyone's friend. Because if I'm someone's friend, then I feel the need to be there for them, or I feel the need to protect them, or I feel the need to hear them out on things, or whatever. And I feel like I've been pretty good at that. You know, I look at Trisha as a great example. I think that Trisha Paytas does what she does very well.
Yeah, Rhea, that was a very passive-aggressive text, 100%. Filthy, they voted, they all did. Every single last one of them. Every single last one of them. And we had a conversation about Iran, and just to give the TLDR, we had a conversation about Iran and how I felt like Trump was provoking Iran, and I was like, hey guys, you should probably just get ready for this. Like, I think that something's going to happen between Iran and America, so just whatever. And then, you know, Margot was like, oh, I don't subscribe to catastrophism. And I didn't like the way that she was talking to me, because she had this way of talking to me like I was stupid or a dog. And I called her a cunt, and nobody liked it, and everyone fell out with me because they were all on MAGA's side, and I was a little bit more liberal but open to them having their own personal beliefs. And yeah, it just wasn't good. Wasn't a nice situation. So we disconnected, and I have not been connected to them since 2024, just before Trump went into office. So there you go. That's the TLDR.
And what I mean by that is I've had a few conversations with Trisha back and forth, and we've always acknowledged what our dynamic is. Trisha has always been like, I understand what you do, I respect what you do. And I've always been like, Trisha, I understand what you do, I respect what you do, so we don't need to.
That's
like,
one thing I will
say
say about Trisha,
you know,
is that she has like not a respect, like not like a deep respect, but she has like a respect for content creators who do drama. Like even like when we were friends, like when I was friends with like Nick and Dustin and stuff, like she was very friendly with Nick, she was very friendly with Dustin, she's been friendly with myself. Like she understands that we're going to talk about her, but at the same time, like she doesn't even, like, she's one of the few influencers that hasn't tried to sway my opinion. Like with Shane Dawson, ultimately tried to sway my opinion. Jeffree Star ultimately tried to sway my opinion. You know what I mean? Like there's loads of different other content creators who have, you know, come into my space, sent me a DM or whatever, tried to talk to me in some capacity, and have tried to sway my opinion or my beliefs or what it is that I think or how it is that I present the news. Trisha has never done that, ever. And I think it's because she respects what drama channels or even drama commentators have to do. So that's something I will say about Trisha.
Pretend our dynamic is something that it's not. And I think that is why, like, Trisha has been able to survive and continuously rebrand in this industry, because I don't think she plays those games. And I think that Colleen wasn't able to survive in this industry because she was playing games.
The Noxolotl just said, after 2024, I think a lot of us had falling outs with friends over politics. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. But for me personally, even though I didn't understand, I loved them enough to respect them for whatever views it is that they held, even if I didn't understand their views, because I love them as people. But I felt like that was never reciprocated, that if I didn't align, then I was out. So then let me be out, bitch. Solo dolo over here. Let me be out.
She was playing games with children, mind you. And I think with like James Charles as well, like that forever stain on your career because you were playing games. Shane Dawson, you were playing games. Gabby Hanna, you were playing games. And they all have their different, you know, levels to it. Like, you know, some people were doing horrible things, some people were just like playing games, some people were just like business savvy. And I think that I allowed myself to believe that my relationship with Ro was something more than business. And I don't mean best friend, I mean like a friendly mentor, if you will. But I don't believe a friendly mentor would hear the kind of shit that I was telling her and then buddy up with those people. I think that's snaky. But I can also acknowledge that she has been a veteran in this industry, and maybe to be a veteran in this industry, you're everyone's friend. Maybe that's it. Now, I don't want to do that. And I've been thinking a lot today about VidCon. Oof. It's going to be a little bit messy, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you aren't aware, one of the guest speakers at VidCon is Adam McIntyre, but another one of the guest speakers of that same event is Rosanna Pansino, and it's very likely that they'll be on a panel together.
No, my friends are coming to VidCon with me because if you're a featured creator, you get 2 +1s. +2, I guess. So I'm bringing Kat and Anna, hopefully. And thank God. Because I'll have real friends
Kat's a good
there.
friend.
And again, I understand creator dynamics. Like, I would say that I'm friendly with a lot of creators. And when it comes to VidCon, I've never had any issues with talking to people. There's people that I like more than other people. I really enjoy talking with Oscar. I really enjoy talking with Nicole Raffi. She was really fun to talk to at VidCon.
Okay. Right. I feel like we've pretty much seen everything it is that we need to see from this video. But for the most part, all he says is one of the only people who are in the industry it is that he trusts 100%, totally, completely, is Swoop. And that's how Swoop comes into the equation. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that because obviously he said discussing Rosanna Pansino and Swoop, but he's already spoken through his upset with Rosanna Pansino and Olivia. Apparently we're allegedly, so I've heard through the grapevine, supposed to be getting some new videos from Adam McIntyre where he's going to be explaining his thoughts on Rosanna Pansino and Olivia having a podcast together in a little bit more deeper detail, so definitely take a look at that. But what I will say is, I will not be answering that question. But something is coming and just be ready for it. And all I'm going to say is I was personally gagged. So that's all I'm going to say. But that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's live stream. It's been so good to get back with you guys and to get back with God. with our favorite person, Gabby Hannah. We love her. She's fantastic. We also have listened to Deaf Noodles make an absolute fool out of itself, as well as Colleen Ballinger try to do the balancing act of being an adult whilst also having child fans. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this evening. If you guys want me to do this more after this video ends, as in not in the live stream chat, but in the actual comment sections, leave me a comment and let me know that you guys want this to be a weekly event, because I can promise you I can't promise 2 times a week because my life is hectic right now, but I can definitely promise once a week we will do this roundup of everything that's been going on social media. I will definitely promise you that much. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is that you are doing. Anybody who has sent me a super chat, I apologize if I didn't get to you. I'm just learning it. I've worked out how I get to see those now. So in the future, if you do send a super chat, I will read it straight away, I promise. But we are just learning. We're trying to figure this all out. So I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is you are doing. And until next time, I am desperate for the loo. So it has been Paige. Bye.
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. Lips so glossy, feeling real bossy. Standing on business, take 'em out, kamikaze. Face so snatched, it could reach the high heavens. I got no match, slaying 24/7. What you think this is deep in my glow up era? My relation's so on point, gelling like aloe vera. Chilling like a cucumber, don't need no sweater. I am living my best life, it just keeps getting better. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I could be trending. The way I stay addressing all of my haters with no words, got them stressing. Keep them on their toes, bite their nails, never resting. No rest for the wicked, but I'm blessed with all my blessings. See beyond the literal, top-notch visual. When you see me shine, my light is not dimmable. Daily rise above, transcended in my spiritual. How you wanna go and hate on something this original? I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate. I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.